Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. Damn, son, where'd you find this? Shout out to Only Logical. Shout out to Only Logical. Brother, where'd you find this? This is gold, right? So, if y'all check out the links in the description, I have Shay Sade, I have BGS, something a couple years old from BGS, where Bell Hooks spills the tea. Um, from her book, I want to say it was Ain't I a Woman? Bell Hooks spilled the tea about black women seeking white men because, well, a woman gains the status of her man, and white men, white patriarchy, white hegemony on planet Earth, that's what it's about. But all of that is support material for the video that Only Logical posts, where you see a sister fiending over the white man. But of course she is, right? And it's one of Only Logical series where he says who black women really choose. And this young lady is 31 years old. Um, and she kind of spills the tea, and she kind of tells you what she's really about when she essentially says the men that I'm really choosing ain't choosing me, and she's speaking about black men here. And she kind of spills the tea in the beginning, right? I want to speak to black men first. Let's speak to black men. Black men, we got to let our rejects go, man. Dear black men, the lady told you she's 31, she's single and childless. For all of you that like them a little bit bigger, a little bit thicker, a little bit heavier, but you call them thick to spare their feelings and yours, um, it's okay to let them go. I said a few weeks ago, send them back to the manufacturer. Leave them on the lot. Shout out to BGS. Leave this young lady on the lot. Send her back to the manufacturer. The manufacturer is white elites. The manufacturer is white racist society. The manufacturer is white technocrats and a couple of black ones. That's the manufacturer. The lot is her home. That's her parents. That's her mother mainly. Leave her on the lot. Send her back to the manufacturer. Dear black men, it's okay to leave this reject. If she is 31 and she told you essentially the black men that she's checking for ain't really on her program. I said it the way I meant it because if you listen to this young lady, you'll see. I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it. Leave her on the lot. Send her back to the manufacturer. Black men, it's okay to let your rejects talk all the crap they want. It's okay. She told you her TikTok video speaking about these white dudes and her dating experience with them hit 1 million views. Let the other black women live vicariously through her. Let them get, you know, handled by the white man however the white man want to handle them. She belonged to him anyway. Huh? Dear black men, it's okay. If a black woman who none of us was really checking for like that by her own admission, at least not the black men she would desire, her own words, right? If the black men that she want to take her seriously aren't taking her seriously, and she decide to go out there to the white dudes, let her go out there to the white dudes. It's okay, dear black men. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be okay, black men. It's gonna be okay. Our rejects, let them go. They wanted to be with white men anyway. They just experimented in the black community. Now they're flexing, and y'all, yes, and I'm gonna go through some of the comments and Only Logical's comments. Yeah, I heard her Freudian slip about being a white woman. I heard it. Huh? Because that's what she really want to be. I told y'all it's not really about the white man. I told y'all it's the myth of white womanhood. It's really them trying to be upper middle class and above white women. And that Freudian slip lets you know that that's her goal anyway. I'm glad she said it. It ain't really even about the white man. It's black women's absolutely insane inferiority complex because they live on the same planet as white women. And the closest they could get to being a white woman and practicing a very specific type of femininity, upper middle class and above white femininity, is by having the white man put them in position. It's not even really about him. It's that white yitch in their mind. Huh? So continuing, the young lady don't even appreciate what the white guy asked her. Whatever later on in the video that Only Logical posted, towards the end, she says she got DM'd by a white dude who said, well, if black women are so open to black men, then why are they with black men? Of course, she does this whole, we were socialized and essentially we were indoctrinated to be with black men. And some of our parents are, and she really wanted to say racist, but some of our parents and our grandparents, they teach us, essentially she was trying to say they're anti-white. Hey, black women with this white peen chase and this myth of white womanhood chase, they throwing everybody under the bus, even their own parents and grandparents. Jesus Christ. Even their own parents and grandparents, they throwing under the bus. Huh? Okay, fine. Then he also, the white guy, also asked her in the DM, why don't black women approach? Now, let's pause right here. Madam, you don't even appreciate what this white man's telling you. Ma'am, just like you tried to remind black men of the hierarchy when you got real aggressive, when you were speaking on black men in your comments and you got real aggressive, you approached me. Huh? You remember when you did that? That's you reminding black men the gender racial hierarchy. Black women above black men. It's black men's job to ass kiss black women. When the white man asked you, why don't black women approach white men? He's reminding you of the racial hierarchy. He's telling you, I don't approach you, you're a black woman. You approach me now. Yes, I might pay for the date, and yes, I might go in for a kiss, and yes, I might be tender and soft. Yeah, but I want you to appreciate the hierarchy. You are beneath me, black woman. Ma'am, you didn't get that. Huh? You would never let that slide if it was a black man. The white man just told you what it is in question form, and you didn't catch it. Huh? It was less a question and more a statement, ma'am. And it's not the first time black women have been online and told you that white men talk to them like white men own black women, because black women have already let white men know, excuse me, that they own you. Huh? This is not the first time a black woman has said something akin to white men saying, why don't y'all approach us? Why don't y'all make yourself more available to us? They're letting you know the hierarchy, madam. And if you don't know, they're reinforcing it. Huh? Wow. Excuse me. So we have a whole lot of black women. Apparently, like she said, she got a million views. And y'all heard her tone of voice when she started speaking to black men? Y'all heard that tone of voice change? That aggression? Huh? Y'all heard it? Dear black men, let her go. Let her go. Let her do her thing. It's okay. Send her back to the manufacturer. Send her back to white society. White society has socialized these women of color to be white worshiping, chasing after white peen for their female validation. Send them back to the white man then. Huh? White society has socialized and raised these women, and their mothers, that's the lot, that's the car lot, that's the dealership. Their mothers did not do anything to stop that. So leave her on the lot for her mother, or send her back to the manufacturer, to white society. Huh? And Jake, yeah, I caught it. And Jake says she was giddy talking about First Watch. That ish is ass. Yeah, look, that means her bar is in the basement. Really, her bar for being impressed by white men is in the basement. That also lets you know what type of black men she might have been dealing with. I get it. These black women try to do their best rendition of white women, so they slum it with the brothers on the bottom because the women are on the bottom. But we're gonna let that one slide. They slum it with the brothers on the bottom, Then they hit the wall and they go trying to run to find them the most naive, vulnerable white man with a little bit of stability to go lay up under. And that's what it really is. The white men see the black women coming. That's why Mr. Z on his channel continues to reiterate something like 4.5 to 6% of all marriageable age black women are married interracially. So out of 100, anywhere between 4 to 6 women out of 100 women, give or take, are married interracially. Are we saying that only 4 to 6 black women have ever had sex with a non-black man, let alone a white man? If the answer is no, which we all know it's no, then that means white men know how black women view them and white men take advantage of it and then leave y'all ass. Huh? Your bar for white men is in the trash. White men know it. They have fun and they experiment with desperate Latinas and desperate Asian women and desperate black women, and they don't marry y'all ass. Asian women are leading in that, but that doesn't mean that white men are marrying Asian women as much as they piping them. And they definitely not marrying, once again, black women as much as they're piping them. Huh? And I caught how giddy she was, Jake. Yeah, she kept on referring to 6'2", 6'3", 6'2", 6'3". Is he 6'2" or is he 6'3", ma'am? Uh-huh. And the reason why we're covering this, one, look at the attitude switch when she was addressing black men. That lets you know a lot. Look how giddy she was addressing white men. That lets you know a lot. And listen to what she said. Black women done knocked her views up to 1 million views on TikTok, apparently. Because they're living vicariously through her, because they want to see a black woman with her aesthetic get wifed up by a white man. I get it. I get it. The likeliness of that, the likeliness of her getting wifed up by a white man with some resources that's childless and that's good looking, But be very clear what she said. She is 31 and she's dating out now. And what was implied and suggested there is because the black men she prefers aren't taking her seriously. So now she's trying to go find her some naive white man with some resources to burn to go lay up under. I get it. Madam, when with the black man that you were addressing that said black men know the game, that's what he was saying. Uh-oh. The little game that black women play. Listen, let me be very clear to black women. Everyone in this society is tired of y'all playing innocent when it comes to everyone in this society. Are we black? Yes. Are we put upon? Yes. Is there a racial hierarchy? Yes. But what black women are doing is playing always the victim, even of black men. And y'all use intersectionality to shield y'all from your misbehavior, dear black women. From your misbehavior, from your lack of discipline, from your missteps, from you purposely going the wrong way and then getting mad that there's consequences for going the wrong way. Huh? This lady tried to play victim. Huh? And I get it. You're trying to appeal to the white men's white knight archetype. The black men have treated me so bad. They don't take us seriously. And they don't know how to treat us. And white men do it better, and non-black men do it better. And they know how to court, and they know how to date. And then we talk to white women, and they're like, I don't know what white men you talking about. Dear black woman, I need you to get your story together. Let me get this right. White women are talking about white men's weaponized incompetence, but black women somehow magically are getting a better white man than the white women are getting. Black women's attempt to jab at black men got them talking about white men like they're demigods. just to jab at black men, just to insinuate that black men are lesser men than white men. Y'all are not even implying it, you're just straight up saying it. All of a sudden, the same white men that white women divorce, the same white men that white women say, practice weaponizing incompetence, huh? The same white men that white women say don't clean up after themselves, the same white men that white women say are man children, the same white men that white women say don't have any rhythm, don't have any charisma, right? The same white men that Leisure Miller is speaking about don't have a person that haven't developed a personality, huh? Aren't likable. All of a sudden, when you let black women talk to get at black men, to insult black men, those same exact white men, I mean literally the same exact white men, all of a sudden black women are like, no, they know how to date, they know how to court, and they know how to speak to us, and they know how to treat us. But wait a minute. So I guess what white men like this and black women have going on is like it's lowered expectations. I guess I'm gonna have to put that in the description box. So I guess what we have is a heavy set black woman who black men are like, yeah, we good on you. And white men who white women are saying, yeah, we good on you, are coupling up for black women to talk all type of crap about black men on social media about and worship at the altar of white men, right? Shout out to all you white men. You could have listen, black women. Black men are not trying to keep you hostage here. White men, you could come and get all of them. We not listen. Mr. Z is no pimp, so I'm not even putting a price tag on it. You could come get them for free. Come and get all of them. Pun intended. Come get all of these black women that want to go over there. Forget 2 for 1. We sell it in bulk. We not even selling. Sorry, we're giving away in bulk. Huh? Wow. Huh? So Shay Sade said it. The stereotype of black women is, they're aggressive and they're mean and they're loud, but they don't act like that with white men. And this young lady just showed you that. That once again, shout out to Shay Sade. That's why I have Shay Sade's link in the description box. This lady literally, in the span of a couple seconds, was giddy about white men, and when she spoke about black men, you see how that switch. You see how that switch, right? Aggressive, combative. So leave her for the white men, huh? Leave her for the white dudes. Shout out to whoever you are, 40-year-old white man. Marry her ass. Get her out of here, huh? Get her out of here. This is what black men are being told that we're supposed to marry. Dr. Umar Johnson is speaking about this. These are the black women that young black men were supposed to marry. Huh? Giddy as hell about the white dude. Aggressive when it comes to black men, telling us what black men lack, what black men aren't doing, of course. And don't even realize when the white man is telling her, hey, you're going to get on our program, and this is the hierarchy. Why aren't you approaching us? Why aren't black women who claim that black men are so horrible approaching us? And this young lady don't even know well enough to lie. Well, she actually did lie. Let's take that back. See, let's take that back. She actually did lie. She actually did lie. She sold one lie. She ain't tell the other lie. Huh? Because black women are women and they are deathly afraid of rejection, even from the white man. It will shatter them. Black women are women. Yes, they are. And the reason why women writ large and in general do not approach men is because they ain't built for that type of rejection. It will crush them. If women had to deal with the type of rejection that men deal with, They will be on self-deletion watch. God forbid they had to deal with nuclear rejection. Huh? Or if I'm not even going to read that out loud, that's hysterical. Huh? So yeah, she told a lie about, oh, we're socialized, and you know, our parents and our upbringing, and we're told, you know, about white folks and the races. Okay, so she told that, but she didn't tell you, yeah, I'm a woman and we don't do that. We don't, you know. And she kind of went to, you know, no, we're not supposed to approach. Okay, cool. But the white man was telling you the hierarchy. You don't appreciate. He would never say that to a white woman. Do you understand that? He would never tell a white woman, maybe not even an Asian woman. He would never tell a white woman, why aren't you approaching us? But he told you as a black woman that, and you don't appreciate why? He's establishing for you the hierarchy. He's establishing for you the hierarchy. Wow. Dear black women, do you understand what's going on in America right now? You don't get it, do you? I just continue to say, white men understand where they rank, and they understand why women of color are choosing them. They get it. They'll play dumb with you. They'll play obtuse with you. They understand what's going on, and they go pipe and toss. So, dear black men, what is she, 31? If these white dudes, what is she in Missouri? If these white dudes don't take her seriously, because they're probably not, train tracks, train tracks, train tracks. She's 31. Get ready to see her back in the black community around 40, maybe 42. Let those 40-year-old white dudes, 43-year-old white dudes, 38-year-old white dudes have fun with her. Put what accountable commentary say? Put her on the Tizzy tour. And more than likely, maybe she'll have a oops baby from one of these white dudes, maybe. But she'll be back in about a decade, right? She'll be back in about a decade. Huh? Angry at the world. Plus her little middle finger to black men did not work. And it might not even take that long. It might not even take that long. So y'all look, do not feel any type of upset about one of our rejects deciding, you know what? You can't fire me. I quit. I'm gonna go to white men. Let the white men have you, man. Let the white men have you. And that's y'all goal anyway. Y'all really looking for some white guy you decide is naive. I want to be very clear, dear black women, dear women. I promise you, men are not as dumb and horny as you think we are. I promise you, we're not. I promise you, we're not as dumb and horny as you think we are. What y'all looking for is not y'all. Y'all say, what's wrong with simps? No, you know what a simp is. You know what men mean by simp. Stop insulting our intelligence. I know you can't help it. Right? So y'all are looking for naive men with lots of resources to go lay up under, and that will fund your life. And for black women, white men of status, white men in general have status because of their white skin. God forbid he's stable and above. God forbid he's tall. God forbid he's good looking. Y'all will go, and that's okay. And y'all gives you a second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. And we're back, right? So we just need to stress that. Look, ma'am, go do what you want to do. No one's holding you back. We're used to negative PR. Hopefully, one of these white dudes take you seriously and wife you up, and you live out whatever fantasy or dream that you have, and you can really stick the middle finger up to black men because you got your white king, your white king, your Viking. Um, and yeah, the likeliness based off the numbers, right? The likeliness, huh? And that's what I'm getting at. Nameless is, let's not forget about the STD, STI rates between white men and black women. Z, what's the condom use rate for black men again? Black women think men in general, but definitely black men are really that dumb. They really think we're that dumb. They can't help but insult our intelligence. They think we don't know about the sneaky link that they have with their white bosses, their white male coworkers, the Latino guy that comes and mows the lawn, right? Their white landlord so they could skimp out on some of the rent money, the Arab guy at the corner store, right? They think we don't know. They think we don't know about the small hat guy that they're letting pipe. They think we don't know. Black women really think black women really think black men believe that they're actually that loyal. Black women have this is the problem. They've been smelling their own farts for so long that they really think that Dr. Umar Johnson think that they're actually that loyal. Huh? And it's not that white men are just not marrying them in significant number after having fun with them. Huh? So when they're getting STIs and STDs from these white dudes they let hit and let hit raw, they get to turn around and act like they don't know where they got it from or act like it's coming from black men. Huh? They get to act like it's not the Latino guy or the white guy who's in and out the black community like he's in and out of some of these black women. And this is what happens when you have dominated the narrative concerning black men and black women for so many decades because white society put the thumb on the scale for you. You actually start to believe your own hype. Black women currently are a product of winning the narrative over the past few decades. And it has spoiled them because they can't even see their own reality. And it is the lie to me economy. Shout out to Edward Anderson. They truly believe their own hype now. And it's sad, frightening, depressing, and you know it's going to hurt them. And unfortunately, many black men that are attached to or next to them, you know it's going to hurt them. To watch how giddy this woman was, excited, she's giggling. Y'all know Mrs. Z giggles like a schoolgirl. She is giggling. 1 million views. Her words. That means other black women are giddy for her, and they're hoping to get their white king, their Viking. That lets you know everything. It was great watching the switch up. Watching that switch go off where she was speaking and giddy about the white guys and these interracial, dates she's going on. And the second she started addressing black men, you saw the switch. Exactly. Shout out to Shay Sade. Exactly. Not in real time, but in real time, you saw the switch. And Dr. Umar Johnson wants us to marry that. Okay, yeah, that's it. Huh? Dr. Boyce Watkins is chastising black men and saying, essentially we're not grown enough and we're not taking these. What, marry this? Huh? She's a reject. Let her go over there and have fun with the white guys. If one of them actually marries her and makes her a quote unquote honest woman and has kids with her and etc., great. She won. And if they do what they usually do with women like this, put them on the tizzy tour, maybe have a oops baby for them or from them, and then kick them out of white manlandia, right? So be it. If they put her on the tizzy tour and then they just kick her out when they're done with her, no mixed kid, no anything, so be it. We know what this is. Black women are the one who have convinced themselves that America isn't America. America isn't America. Hey, say that. Only Logical says a lot of black women get excited to go on a date with a white man because um they have, I know what you meant to say. They have never been on a date before, meaning black men have nothing to do with them, but they will blame Jermaine. Yeah. I mean, when you take a few steps back and you take a more panoramic view of dating, relationships, intimacy, sex in America, and the atomization of working class folks, poor folks, working poor folks, lower middle class folks in general, before we even include race yet. Less young people are coupling up in any real way, dating, sexual experiences, etc., etc. Black women, younger black women in particular, living in America like the rest of us and going through that, aren't looking at it like that. Nor do they care to. They do what the rest of America does, blame Jermaine. So, as you're saying, only logical, they're not going on dates. And so, if one of the first few dates they ever been on is with the white man, and he does traditional man stuff, period, not white man stuff, traditional man stuff, then he's God to them. Huh? You see how white men choose us? Excuse me. You see how white men treat us? You mean how a man would treat a woman on a first and second and third date, period? Huh? Exactly, Tro. The pull up era. And she said that, the black men just want to pull up. So you just go pull up. Isn't this the same complaint we hear from white women about white men and Latinas about white men and Latinos and even some Asian women? Isn't this the same complaint? But oh yeah, she limited it to black men because up until now she's been limited to a certain type of black man, and that's if we even believe her about her experiences. Huh? So watching her be giddy, watching her response, watching her completely miss the white man is telling you what the hierarchy is, that you're supposed to be the one approaching him. You're the one that's supposed to be sliding on him. Watching you not appreciate what the hell he just actually told you, but you know well enough to get black men back in line. You're the one who approached me. Yep, that's what we thought. Look at that aggression. Look at you. You're trying to enforce the hierarchy to black men, that black women are above black men. You're trying to remind black men the hierarchy. Meanwhile, the white man just reminded you of the hierarchy and you didn't even get it. Huh? Wow. And we'll pause right here. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And Chef Butter Biscuit says, and y'all gives you a second. And we're back. Chef Butter Biscuit says, I'm a firm believer in the teachings of Unc Romulus. However, if a black woman wants to choose up on a brother, she gonna come up with a billboard proclaiming it, and that's the start. Too many undercover divestors. Yeah, yes. And this is a conversation I have with one of my coworkers all the time when we get into the conversation about black men, black women, our relationships, interracial sex, interracial marriage, etc., etc. And I reiterate to him, bro, black women are not nearly as loyal as y'all think. And as she said, this young lady said it. There's way more black women that are into white men than y'all think. I told her, look, man, if black women thought that white men were more interested in them, they would be Asian women. Black women would be Asian women out here with every time you see a black woman, she would be with a white man. It's because white men ain't choosing and black women know it. Particularly black women of a certain age, they don't lie to themselves. Once you start getting under maybe 45-ish, 40, black women have really convinced themselves that white men will marry them. White men are checking for them like that. Huh? There's a lot of undercover swirlers and divestors. There's a lot of black women who have gotten it in with white male co-workers, white bosses, Latino co-workers, maybe an Asian here or there, a couple Middle Eastern guys here or there. Is that it just never turns into marriage. It never really goes public. It never exits their little friend circle, if not just one homegirl knows, one girlfriend knows about it. And so she gets to still be in the black community, moving around and engaging in those. No, black women are more loyal than black men. And white women aren't told to settle. And every time you see a rich black man, he's with a white woman. Every time you see these black athletes, they're with one of these exoticals. Because she knows her secret is safe, and it's probably really not safe, with her homegirl. That she was having a little situationship with her white male boss for 9 months. See, Toya said, they be all too excited to talk about it. And to be frank with y'all, when Z was in the firms, when I was in these offices, it wasn't the white man talking, as Toya said. It was the black women and the Latina women that were talking about whatever situation they had with the white dude. Those white attorneys, the white paralegals, those men weren't talking like that. You might have known because you would see them walk on at the same time, et cetera, et cetera. So you already knew what was kind of going on, but it was in the white men talking. Those Latinas, those black women, it would start circling around their friend circles, and somebody would eventually say something, and then you knew about it. And it ain't never turned into anything. Well, let me take that back. It seldomly turned into anything serious. Now you're around the way, brother. You see her at whatever restaurant, you see her at whatever fast food restaurant, you see her walking through the store, the mall, you holler at her, you never know. You never knew. And she will never tell you the 2 and 3 and 4 guys that are not black that have been in there. Huh? There are a lot of undercover swirlers and divestors, but I would argue this though. That's for a certain age cohort. I think once again, once you get under the age of about 45, they let it all hang out. Because this is their thumb in the eye to black men. What that's going to mean for their future, on the other hand, concerning white men or black men, that's another thing, right? That remains to be seen, right? So, as I said before, I have this conversation with one of my coworkers all the time that black women are not nearly as loyal as you think they are. It's that the white man ain't choosing. If the white man was choosing, far more black women would go. It's not black women's loyalty, it's white men's colorism, their form of anti blackness concerning black women. Their concepts of class and race, their want for fully white children, it's not black women's loyalty. If black women could be Asian women, they would be. And you would see something like anywhere between 40 to maybe 60-ish% of black women marrying outside the race, mainly to white men. If they could do it, they would do it. And it's not because black men are this and black men are this. No, simply because of the racial hierarchy. Simply to get a taste of white womanhood. The myth of white womanhood. There's a pun in there. Huh? If black women could be Asian women, if they could pull a 54%. And for those of you that don't know, American born Asian women are marrying outside of their race at like 50 some odd percent, mainly the white men, of course. If black women could pull it, they would be doing the same thing. Somewhere around that line. Are there black women that they're all about black men and it's not under any type of desperation or that exists? To be honest, that exists. Black women that are all about black men, they not looking for the white man, Latino, Asian, that exists. How much? And if white men were open to them, how much would that be? Oh boy. Right? Wow. What are you saying, Mike Rizzi? What are you saying? Mike Rizzi says, my white girlfriend, black friend, Keisha always bragged about her white boyfriend in front of us. Crazy because he was in jail. I ain't saying most black women would go with a jailbird ass white dude. I'm not gonna say that. I don't think most of them would. I'll give them that. Not most of them. A lot of them, anyway, but not most. Right? And I understand white male patriarchy, white hegemony. Black women will go if they thought it's not loyalty. It's not. Oh, we were socialized and no. Y'all know what white men are. Y'all can continue to lie to yourself. And Mr. Z does have two minds on this. How much are black women trying to troll black men? And how much have they actually bought into, you know what? This race thing don't matter. Not race might matter for everything else, but when it comes to intimacy and marriage and partnership, then all of a sudden race don't matter to white men. Okay, yeah, that's it. All of a sudden, race and ethnicity and culture and religion don't matter to non-black men. He might come from a family or a neighborhood, relatives that are anti-black, believe in whatever racial supremacy over black folks. But it's something about you, Keisha, where none of that matters anymore for him. How many black women actually buy into that? Huh? Mike Rizzi says her name was really Keisha. Wow. Right. So it was it was funny watching how giddy she was. She was giggling her ass off. Let the reject go, black men. Let her go. Let her go experience the white dudes. Just never let her back. If the white dudes, if one of the white guys, like I said, marry her, give her mixed baby, she can move into the burbs with him. Let her be. And if they, you know, pogo stick up and down her esophagus or use her as a goddamn human trampoline for the next 5 years and then toss her off of Mount Olympus, off of Mount Wadamanjaro, let her go. Let her go and experience that. And when they toss her from Mount Wadamanjaro, let her fall splat. Let her fall splat. It's one thing to happen to meet some non-black guy at work or in the store, and he strikes up a conversation with you, and next thing we know, 5 years later, y'all walking down the aisle. 10 years later, y'all have a 3 or 4 year old, etc., etc. That's one thing. Hunting the white guys, oftentimes to spite black men, or for your warped concepts of myth of white womanhood, failing at it, and then in case of emergency, break glass, black man. Yeah, no, right? I didn't know she had health issues. And Only Logical says, are black men really checking for her? Her health issues alone will run her a few thousand to fix. And so before you got in, Only Logical, I was saying that once again. Thank you for the super chat, Chef Butter Biscuits. Thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. So, Only Logical, I was saying that earlier. Let the reject be a reject. Leave her on the lot or send her back to the manufacturer. The car lot being her family, her mother in particular. Send her back to the manufacturer. The manufacturer is white racist society. It's the technocrats. It's the ad executive. It's overall society. It's overall white racist society, anti-black society. So whenever y'all hear me say send her back to the manufacturer, I'm speaking about overall the dominant society. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed. When you hear me say leave her on the lot, I'm speaking about her family, relatives, namely her mother. Right. So if in her words, she was out here, and the guys that she was checking for aren't taking her seriously. Her type of that was the sentiment, right? So essentially, what she was saying, when as Donovan Sharp says, when you read through her womanese, the black dudes she was out here slumming it with weren't taking her seriously. So now she's going to go, quote unquote, expand her horizons, open up her choice, her options, and she going to check for white dudes. Let her go. We're only covering this mainly because number one, her attitude and how she switched up when she was giddy talking about white men, but when she started addressing black men, all that aggression, right? That's number one. That's one of the reasons why we're covering this. We're also covering this because of the myth of white womanhood. We're also covering this, linking this to Shay Sade's video. Once again, links are in the description box. What Shay Sade said: these black women who are aggressive to black men, but really friendly and feminine to white men, and then wonder why they get these great ass outcomes with white men. I also linked an older video from BGS where he spoke about bell hooks, essentially speaking about how women take on the status of their men, and essentially her jealousy of white women in their status. And the white peen chase for black women is really about status and power. So we're linking all these things together to tie in why this young lady sounds the way she does. Whether she realizes it or not. The white man, whoever that guy was that DM'd her, told her what it was. You tried to flex hierarchical power on black men by saying, you approach me. That aggression was you trying to remind black men of their place beneath you. What you didn't appreciate, young lady, is when that white man who DM'd you asked you, why don't black women approach white men if black men are such a problem for y'all? He was flexing, once again, racial hierarchical power, hierarchical power on you as a black woman. That's a white man flexing his racial hierarchical power on you as a black woman. And you didn't get it. He was more making a statement than asking you a question, and you did not understand that. Don't ask him because he's not going to admit to it, by the way. Huh? So shout out to Only Logical for this. The young lady told us 1 million views. And you're gonna see this. I think you're gonna see women writ large in America scramble. Every woman who's not married, generally speaking, we're saying, I think over the next decade or so, we are gonna mark Mr. Z's words. Let's see if Mr. Z still has a channel. Let's see how right or wrong I am in the future. I suspect you are going to see women, including black women, scramble. Scramble is engaging in LGBTQ lifestyle. Scramble is trying to tuck themselves under any non-black man. Scramble is flirt with and try to tuck themselves in under any black man that looks any that he has any modicum of stability. You're going to watch black women and women writ large scramble as Donald Trump and JD Vance and their administration shake up this economy. Huh? And so black women that look like this woman are going to be running in any and everywhere. Dear black men, don't be surprised if a woman like her is flirting with you while you're in the return line at Walmart. That same black woman who was listening to Chrissy, she might still be listening to Chrissy in that headphone at the return line at Walmart. She might be still listening to Real Talk with Yeti in the return line at Target. And while she is literally listening to Real Talk with Yeti, she will be flirting with you because life is real and that struggle is real. Huh? They're going to be scrambling for other women, namely black women, for non-black men, for black men, because the days of being single and making it out here, particularly as a woman, a black woman on top of that, yeah, those days are done. Shout out to some of us and our single mothers who, yeah, with a little bit of government assistance and her 9 to 5 and your relatives and her friends were able to raise you and see you off to adulthood. Yeah, those days, not saying they're fully done, but single mother raising children that aren't starving to death. Right? Thank you. And Saint Sir says, don't forget Vivek and Elon when they get to making cuts with Doge. And on a side note, y'all seen when I posted in my community tab last night. Tone Talks covered, and we've been hearing about this for the past 40+ years, maybe. Eventually privatizing the post office, postal service, U.S. Postal Service, um, and let's see if that actually goes through. But y'all saw Tone Talks covered it, and Army Ose Frimpong, the funky academic, covered it, and I think Dr. Thunder covered funky academic covering. Mr. Z might be covering it later on today. So y'all look out for Mr. Z later on tonight or later on today. Because I might be covering it. That's a whole look, man. That's a whole different type of situation when we start privatizing some of these government, jobs. Right? So yeah. Y'all gives you a second, y'all talk amongst yourselves. And we're back. My apologies, y'all. My apologies. But yeah, and what was I going to talk about? I was going to talk about that USPS. So what's going on, Demetrius? So he says USPS is um constitutionally covered. That ish ain't going right. I hear you. I hear you, and I wonder how much of that is scaremongering on my part. Um, I as I said before, this is something that has been being threatened, particularly by the Republican Party for the longest, because um, U.S. Postal Service um, isn't profitable. But yeah, it's not supposed to be, right? And I think this is one of those issues where when you hear people say, "Well, I want somebody that runs the government like a business," I'm like, business is about profit. Government's supposed to be about ensuring your freedom and liberty. Two different mission statements, but okay, fine. Let's see, right? Government's about your security and securing your freedom and conduct business and do the things you need to do and live your life and and but if you want them to run it like a business, all right, right? So yeah. So let me read this. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And a split Jim says that switch at 1.5 playback was scary. I had to go back and verify I wasn't bugging. No, you heard what you heard. You heard what you heard. Yeah, you heard that right. You heard that right. And y'all gives you a second. Once again, y'all talk amongst yourselves. Give me 1 second. And we are back. Okay. Yeah, no, you heard it the right way. That switch up was exactly what we expect. It's exactly what Shay Sade described. It's black women and their low boiling. It's not even low boiling anymore. Contempt for black men and their white worship for white men and white women. And this is something that until you see it on camera, you wouldn't believe it. Black men could describe it all day, every day, and everyone's going to minimize it and playing down. Everyone's going to come up with excuses. It's until you actually see it on camera, until you actually witness it, do you really realize, oh crap, we're dealing with women that have an insane inferiority complex. We're dealing with women who have contempt for black men. We're dealing with women who don't even appreciate, they're not self-aware enough to even appreciate what this means for their relationships with white men and black men, right? Because what you just showed right there, man, whether you realize it or not, is you showed to white men that they got way more leverage with you than you would like to believe. And you said it to them, by the way. You said, well, black women are way more open to white men than white men would believe. You said it. So, right? So that's your relationship with white men. You just let them know that they could take advantage of you. And they will, by the way. Oh, they will. Train tracks, train tracks, train tracks. Shout out to all the black women who think white men are sweet. All right. You're about to find out. Right? You think white men are a lick? Yeah, you're gonna be licking, but I don't know if you're gonna like what you get. But huh? So yeah, no, you saw that, and but once again, until you actually witness it and hear it, everyone will gaslight you. Everyone will play it down. Everyone will minimize the way black women, in particular, concerning black men. I don't know all the way too much about Asian women and Asian men and Latinos and Latinas, et cetera, et cetera. But when it comes to black men and black women and white men, until you see it on camera, everyone will lie to you and gaslight you about how black women speak about and speak to white men and how they speak about and speak to black men. And what you just witnessed right there is exactly what we've been talking about. And shout out to Shay Sade. Shay Sade said it, and that's why I have once again her video in the description box, because that's what it is. It's a low level, not so low level, boiling contempt for black men, and it is a white male worship because of the same supposed white male patriarchy that these women claim they're trying to get rid of. Huh? All that hierarchy and systems of oppression that they claim that they're trying to dismantle and get rid of, they adhere to it every single day. Not just in their workspaces, not just because of how America is constructed, they're trying to submit to it in the bedroom, goddamn Z, or in the front seat of the car. Definitely the back seat of the car. Oops. Or in the office. Yikes. Huh? Huh? And Demetrius says, but I'll just want to say to the people at the top right now, if they legit go through with this, then they are traitors. Hey, Demetrius, these people talk about patriotism, but when it comes to their money, they don't actually mean it. Many of them, I would argue, don't actually mean it. And the others play in this very weird gray area, right? They play in this very weird gray area where they're on and off about their patriotism, right? They're really about patriotism being for the poors. These people want to privatize the entire world because it benefits them. You, once again, people at the top get community, they get tax cuts, they get validation, they get to insulate themselves, they get to use the government to insulate themselves, they get to use the government not to have to face the cold, hard market, not to have to necessarily compete, not to necessarily have to wonder every day, is there some up and coming upstart that's going to push me over in the next 5 years, 10 years? They use government contracts and they use guarantees to insulate themselves from the same thing they tell you to go out there and compete with and get your head taken off in the market. Competition is for the poors. Competition is for the people that didn't buy politicians. I'm sorry, in America, lobby politicians. Huh? So privatizing the postal service, because it really is about giving your average person no security whatsoever. Everything about your life is supposed to be up in the air. You don't get security at all. You don't get guarantees at all. Nothing. Right? You are supposed to perpetually be okay. Am I okay? Am I not? Right? Because that's good for them. That's good for business. Now, is it good for every business? Obviously not. Right? You're supposed to have constant precarity. They love it. Now, are there going to be certain businesses that suffer? Absolutely. But I would argue these people love people that are desperate. They love the desperation. And you could tell that many of these people don't even appreciate what's going on. You saw a number of people in some of the comment section for these places. Yeah, privatize the USPS because I'm tired of this junk mail, bruh. Do you under what? Wait, what? What do you think the USPS has to do with junk mail? You think they're sending you the junk mail, you idiot? That it was, yo, I promise you, when I first read that comment, and I seen that comment a bunch of times in different video comment sections, I'm like, wait a minute, y'all, wait a minute, y'all, you don't even appreciate what you're doing here. Huh? Right? So yeah, man, look, oh, living on a planet and in a country with people that think like this is frightening, right? Yeah, the Zeitgeist trilogy. Shout out to Nema, exactly. And Nema says, this is why Michael Moore's documentaries are a vital watch. Peter Joseph's Zeitgeist trilogy as well. Yeah, I've seen all of them. Yep. Yeah. He said techno feudalism, but yeah, no, Nema says, this world is exactly what Yanis Varoufakis was talking about regarding technical feudalism. Yeah, techno feudalism. Yep, yep, yep. Nema also says, patriotism is the sanctity of cowards. Nationalism is the mask of tyranny. Right? Earth said conditional patriotism. Exactly. Saint Cyr says we're gonna colonize them back, Latinas. Yeah, that's it. You're gonna colonize them back, but he just planted um glue on your forehead. Uh-oh. He just painted your face with glue, but you're the one colonizing him back. Okay, yeah, that's it. He just wrote his name on your cheek with glue, with mayonnaise. Huh? He just wrote his name. He just called himself Bradville on your cheek. He just wrote his name on your cheek just now. Huh? But you're gonna colonize him back. Yeah, that's it. His children are dancing in your throat right now, on the way down to your stomach. Some of his kids are dangling from your tonsils right now. They're using your tonsils as a swing set right now. But you're gonna colonize him back. Okay, yeah, that's it. Shout out to all the women of color who think like that. Shout out to all the LGBTQ men of color who think like that. Yeah, you're gonna colonize the white man back. Meanwhile, he's blowing out your back. Okay, yeah, that's it. You're gonna colonize him back, but he got you calling him daddy. Okay, yeah, that's it. You're gonna colonize him back, but he just skeeted glue all over your backside. Okay, yeah, that's it. Thinking that this is gonna end racism or anti-blackness or the racial hierarchy. Just if we keep on having interracial sex and yeah, that's it. Hmm. The way people come to their reasoning, the way people get to their reasoning is just fascinating to see. The way people rationalize what they want to do anyway, or whatever quote unquote traumas they have, how they attempt to alleviate that pain or whatever, it's fascinating listening to people talk. Huh? It's fascinating listening to people speak, particularly concerning white folks, white men in particular, but white folks in general. It's fascinating listening to people speak about white folks as if the racial hierarchy doesn't exist, as if white hegemony doesn't exist, right? Like Lula said it after the '08 depression, if we're gonna be honest, recession. These white folks in London, in New York, thought they knew. He said white. He said white folks, blonde, blue-eyed, thought they knew everything, and they knew nothing. Former and current president of Brazil said that. If I'm not mistaken, he said it at the G20. Huh? Meanwhile, the black president of the US telling you I'm would stand between you and the pitchforks, telling the elite white folks that. And Lula, the Brazilian, went to the G20, was like, you white guys thought y'all knew everything. Y'all knew nothing. Y'all crashed the goddamn world economy. Huh? Obama over here making smiley faces with the small hat leader while he can't stand him and get caught saying that to the French president at the time. And Lula out here, and we ain't even gonna mention Hugo Chavez after Bush Jr. spoke at the UN, and Lula over here saying, I smell sulfur. The devil was up here. And then the man died of cancer. Anyway, we know how this goes. Anyway, yeah, Mr. Z got the tinfoil hat on nice and tight. The tinfoil kufi, the tinfoil do-rag is nice and tight. I said it. We know what it is. Huh? Wow. Mr. Shuktiyu says Chicago privatized the parking meters for one-time payment of $2 billion. The company made that money back in 3 years, but they have ownership for the next 70 years. Chicago makes nothing now. Oh man. I said this before. The question that people have to ask themselves in America is what is too sacred for the market? What should not be subjected to market forces? And if you say everything, are you ready for what that everything actually entails? And this is not a question I'm asking everyone in America, but I'm really, really, really asking white folks. What in America should not be subjected to market forces? What is too valuable for us to gamble in the market? And every endeavor in America, every institution in America that you can think of that matters, if you are okay with subjecting that to market forces, are you prepared for the fallout? Most of us are average. Yes, white folks, even you. Are you prepared for market forces on school, on education, on the roads, on the post office, on everything? Huh? Yeah. So that, hey, I, look, shout out to all the conservative and independent brothers. I know y'all don't listen to Z necessarily for the political talk and my leftist take on stuff. I get it, but you know you unless you click off, you go hear it every once in a while, more than every once in a while. But yeah, it's something to consider. Huh? Uh, do y'all want to privatize Social Security next? Huh? And are you ready for what that means? Huh? Just saying. Something to think about, right? Demetrius says, I've been exploring this idea of making the Green Party the Black People Party because they wouldn't be able to turn us down. I said the Democratic Party is Black People's Party, but I'm down for what you're saying too. Yeah, I'm down for what you're saying also. Because the current state of affairs, we already know it's not sustainable. We already know it's not sustainable, right? So, ah, meanwhile, we have weirdo, chubby, marginally attractive black women who are essentially growling and barking at black men while worshiping at the altar of white men, all on these interwebs, right? So, as we're speaking about the political and economic and social fallout and ramifications of a potential privatized US Postal Service, wayward black women are either sounding like Chrissy, Yanny, or this young lady. It's lifestyle or nothing, it's opulence or nothing, and it's white peen, white male worship or nothing. I guess you could say non black men, but particularly white man peen or nothing. Meanwhile, if black women who work for the Postal Service were subjected to market forces and privatized, you would see that quote unquote entrepreneurship rate skyrocket with black women and they would be making nothing. Let's be very clear why black women are starting their own businesses left and right because they're being fired, let go, laid off at these businesses. They're being harassed. I believe them. I believe black women. I believe them. When it comes to the workspace, I believe them. The racist white woman is making underhanded comments. The Latina is making underhanded comments. They putting way more work on y'all plate and not giving y'all the time to do it. I believe y'all. And uh-oh. Huh? I believe black women when they say it. I've seen it a couple of times. I believe them. But y'all ain't telling Chrissy to shut the hell up. Huh? Y'all ain't tell Real Talk with Yanni when she said, "What's the incentive?" And I would be a captain of leisure. You ain't tell her to shut the hell up. You ain't telling Tanya TKO to shut the hell up. Huh? When the US Postal Service employs what 21 or some odd percent, I heard any numbers between 21 to 30% of their employees are black. That's a black job. We had this conversation on Dr. Thunder's channel a few months ago when Trump said the black job thing and a bunch of black folks were pretending like they didn't know what a black job was. Huh? Shout out to Dr. Thunder. We mentioned this on his channel a few months ago. Shout out to Black Uru. We mentioned this on my channel, I think, also a few months ago. So, as I said, you'll see these things go privatized, and white folks are going to white folk. Black women going to feel it, and then do what they always do blame Jermaine because it's always Jermaine's fault. Then y'all going to tell us about how y'all entrepreneurs, we're the fastest growing business owners. We're starting our own businesses. Ma'am, this thing is not profitable. You're cash strapped. You have an LLC, ma'am. You made all of $10,000 profit last year. That's a good little side hustle, ma'am. Huh? That's the real everyone. I could tie what Demetrius is talking about into the topic, right? This young lady is worshiping at the altar of white men. Instead of being honest, she's probably struggling though. I put money this young lady is not doing well financially in life. I put money on it. Huh? Z could be wrong. I could be. This is a heavy set black woman who told you apparently dating brothers. It didn't work out. She's 31 years old and she's opened up her options to white men and she's giddy about it off of simple ass dates that she says black men were not providing her. Black men were not providing her with these simple ass dates, at least not the black men she was interested in. And now the white guys are. Huh? Meanwhile, Trump is over here playing around with, and by the way, I did watch was it Fox News or whatever, and they did mention Elon and Vivek were part of speaking about privatizing the USPS. Government efficiency, everyone. Meanwhile, we got black women over here worshiping at the altar of white peen. If you, huh, Alexa, if you think you're lonely now, anyway, Bobby Womack. Hey, if black women, if you think you, look, we know why black people live in major cities. We know why black people work government jobs. We understand the perniciousness of the market. We understand the straight up anti-blackness of the market. Not for all, but not every black person gonna be hit upside the head, but enough of us will be. And the beauty of the market and of capitalism is they could be as racist as they want and just hide behind you ain't make the cut. Huh? And it's going to take, wait a minute, the same government to investigate and be like, no, actually, you are racist. The same racist government, you know it's bad when the US, America, whenever they do any type of internal research on any private industry, they'd be like, God damn, y'all anti-black like a mug. Huh? Whether it's banking, whether it's educate, it don't matter what they look into. They be like, God damn, y'all anti-black. America, huh? But don't tell these type of black women anything about that because those same white men are gonna marry them and save them from black manlandia, right? Save them from Blackistan, from the communita. Okay, yeah, that's it. Huh? Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Oh boy. Oh, talking about that. Brandon, thank you for the Cash App yesterday. Thank you for the Cash App. So if you listening, if you're still listening, if you got this far in the replay, shout out to the replay gang. Yeah. Thank you for the Cash App yesterday. I was meaning to say it because you actually sent it during the stream, but I completely forgot and now Mr. Z remembered. Right. But yeah. So as I said before, the precarity, I think women in writ large, I don't think it's gonna be exclusively a black women thing. I think a lot of these behavioral problem Latinas, I think a lot of these behavioral problem black women are gonna either finally shatter, they're gonna finally break mentally. If you thought they were broken before, I think they're they're really gonna shatter, or they're gonna be trying to scramble and find anyone to tuck under. Once again, um, butch women, butch same-sex loving women that might be stable. They're gonna try to tuck themselves under the Latino man that might be into black women, the white man that might be into black women, and any black man that's any type of modicum of stable, barely stable, right? Hey, say that. And Mr. Shukti you says, and let me hurry up and read this. Most of these entrepreneurs are signing up for government assistance programs while simultaneously installing wigs and lashes on the side without reporting the income in the 2 to 4 thousand range per month. And that's not the worst. If you making $4,000 a month with lashes, that ain't the worst. That ain't the worst, right? What about $48,000 a year? That ain't too shabby. Especially if you have a legitimate, 9 to 5, yeah. You couple that with a 37,000, $47,000 a year job, hey, that ain't the worst thing in the world. You bring in home 70,000. Wait a minute, you're not bringing home 70,000 because of taxes. Uh-oh, Mr. Shook to you. Huh? Because I'm playing dumb right now. Are you saying, Mr. Shook to you, that because they're not reporting it, they're profiting that $48,000 a year? We're assuming they're making the whole 4,000, not closer to 2,000, but fine. So they're profiting that whole 50 essentially. So they're getting taxed on that 36,000 they got at their 9 to 5, or 40,000 they're earning from their 9 to 5, and that more 50,000 profit, they're not paying taxes on it, so they winning, right? Uh-oh, dear ladies, huh? You're not a rich white man. I don't know if they gonna let you get away with tax fraud or not paying your taxes, especially at not paying your taxes for $50,000 a year. I don't know, huh? This ain't no measly $2,000. That once again, Mr. Shook to you, that's if they're earning that. That's if they're earning that. I don't know if they're earning that, right? Oh no, no, I've seen that. I watched that clip years ago, forever ago. And Dr. D says BGS showed a discussion between Nika Giovanni and Baldwin. And Miss Giovanni said that if you, the black man, loves her, then lie to her. She said that with a smile on her face. I was confused. I'm not, and I actually don't know how much I disagree with. Mr. Z about to say some crazy stuff right now. I don't know how much I disagree with Nikki Giovanni on that. Believe it or not, I don't know how much I disagree with her on that. Right? Like you smile for your white bosses, you're pleasant to your white bosses, but your wife got to deal with the mean curmudgeon you. I you know what? All right, black women, I could you know what? Mr. Z don't smoke, but I could smoke a bag of that. Shout out to Zoe Williams. I could smoke a bag of that. But that goes both ways. Uh-oh. That goes both ways, ladies. If you're saying that, then guess what Mr. Z is saying, and what I would argue many of us black men are saying. Then you don't get to have to deal with all the crap at work and bring your little aggressive. Well, I gotta work like a man, so I come home. I'm more aggressive. Nope, 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 nope. I thought we were coming home with smiles. I thought we were gonna be pleasant. Huh? Yeah, we look for those of us that are couples or been in relationships, been married, whatever. We know there's the time when you're at home and your lady telling you about all the crazy stuff at work and the work gossip and her boss that ain't ish or whatever the hell, the coworker that's leaving early or coming late and the boss don't know and who's piping who and all of the work gossip. You know as much as you know so much you damn near work at the job. And you tell her about the effery boss and et cetera at your job. But if Nikki Giovanni is saying, and once again, I agree with her on this, that smile if you have it in you to smile with the white dude, to smile with the white bosses, in our case, the white folks, the Latinos, the Asians that we know are anti-black, that then said slick stuff here and there. If we have it in us to smile with them, why can't we smile with her when we come home? I actually agree with that. That doesn't mean you're not real with your lady. But it does mean if you have it in you to smile with the white dude you want to choke out, Then not why not with your lady? I actually agree with Nikki Giovanni on that. The problem is black women think that street only goes one way. Right? That street doesn't only go one way. Dear ladies, that means you gotta fake that smile too. Huh? See, and I'm not going this far with it neither, Mish. This is what I was saying. And Mish says, if I gotta be functionally fake at work and home, I'll eventually find somewhere I can relax and be myself. That's what the side chick is for, everyone. Shout out to Corey Holcomb. That's what the side chick is for. No, I'm joking. I'm joking, but not joking. Anyway, right? But for real, Meech, that's what the side chick is for. But you know, I'm not saying to fake. I'm not saying to fake all the time. Anyway, I'm not saying to fake all the time. You do have to be real with someone. You do have to, and I guess the term is let your hair down for someone. Shout out to all those balls brothers, right? With that, I do understand the sentiment of, yo, you smiling with this dude. You can it's the same thing. It's the other side of what we say with the ladies, where you wouldn't talk to your white boss like that, right? I can appreciate when a black woman says that. If y'all notice, when black women say these things, I'm like, all right, bet, okay, cool, cool. But that's not a one way. You don't get to play moral high ground to not also engage in this contract. Nope. That's why I said to y'all, if black women say have an issue with interracial relationships concerning black men and they feel like black men belong to black women, I bet. Oh, okay, you know what? Fine. All right. And black women better belong to black men. In my case, even more. Huh? Even more. If you say black, you don't appreciate these NBA and NFL players and their white girlfriends and wives, all right, bet. Then you better have something to say about these black women letting these white celebrity men pogo stick up and down in them in Hollywood. Use them as a goddamn human trampoline. If you say that, we could get down with that, fine. But that street is two ways. Upstart, that's true. Upstart says the white man don't even got to be their boss. True, true. I see black women turn on the interview voice for any random white man. I see it. Right. So I just want to stress that. Shout out to right. Shout out to y'all. Actually, give me a second, y'all. Train tracks, train tracks, train tracks. Yep, and there we go. Um, yeah, no, it I agree with Nikki Giovanni on that one. I can't disagree with that. Right. But as I said, we live in a new day. If you're saying that to black men, then I as a black man will say the same thing to you. Right. You don't get to be a curmudgeon. You don't get to be an asshole. You don't get to be a mean, snarky, sassy, right, argumentative, combative person because you can't take that off on the white woman you want to choke out at the job, or the Latina that keep on making little colorist comments or whatever, or when they talking about their hair and make you feel a certain way because y'all know that be making black women feel a certain way, and they taking little subtle jabs and all those microaggressions y'all talk about, and then you come home and take it off on your kids and your black man. Nope. If we got to smile, you got to smile, and there you go. Y'all heard right. Right. And Dr. G says the reason I'm confused is, can a marriage based on some interpretation of quote unquote true love um, also be based on intentional lies? What even is love at that point? Yes, absolutely. Dr. D, are we having a real conversation? I'm joking with you, but like, yes, not the base. If we're gonna be more nuanced, y'all gives you a second. Y'all gives you a second because we about to get some real work right now. Y'all gives you a second. Intentional lies, absolutely, absolutely. How heavy is the lie though? How detrimental would the truth be, right? Yes, yeah. Look, no one on planet Earth is telling the truth 100% of the time at all. And if your relationship is built on a lie, that's a whole different conversation. I'm not going there with it, Dr. D. I ain't going there with it. With that, if your lady cooks something and it don't really taste that good, is smile and be like, babe, you can use a little flavoring, but it ain't the worst thing in the world. But you dying inside. Is this the worst thing to be like, all right, babe, and play it down a little bit? Technically, you're lying. You're actually lying, but it's a little white lie. You ain't really letting her know how bad the food is. You played it down. You're minimizing how bad the food is, right? You told her it's not that great, but you ain't telling her, look, babe, you need to go back to your regular. I don't know if you read the recipe right, but something's missing, right? So that's an intentional lie. It's a little white lie, but it is very much an intentional lie, right? So I am not saying that we have to we have to fake it at work and then go home and fake it like that, like that. That there, I agree with Meech. There needs to be a place where we can be us, and it is your house. It is your home. What I am saying is, I agree with Nikki Giovanni on if you could smile for, and we know what word she used. If you could smile for the white guys, for the boss, for the white boss, you can't smile for me. I get that, right? I get that. Now the kicker is, it really ain't black men like that. Those black women. That's the kicker. But no, I get that. I get that, right? I'm not talking about faking it all the time. I'm not talking about going home and look, babe, I gotta raise out, right? But you can't do it because you have promised yourself and promised her, look, we're always going to be smiling, and that's not real life. But I understood where Nikki Giovanni was coming from, right? And that portion of the conversation, at least, I understood where she was coming from. I recall I watched this forever ago, right? Joe's, does this dress make me look fat? This is the question, right? This is the eternal question of men. No, the dress doesn't make you look fat. You're fat, right? Now, do you actually say that? How do you say that? Do you say, babe, we should start going to the gym together. Oh, babe, you see me going to the gym. You want to come with me? What do you say? So either way, anything short of, babe, you actually gain a little bit of weight, or that dress don't fit like that, or anything less than that is some sort of lie. Once you start minimizing what it really is, it's different gradations of lie, right? It's different gradations of lie. However y'all want to frame it, it's different gradations of lie, right? So yeah, low value Melson. In a relationship, you only get to be yourself is when you're by yourself. I don't know if it's that bad, but no, yeah, I don't know if it's like that bad. But look, man, if we're gonna be honest with black women, if you're gonna be honest with women, and when I'm saying this, I'm talking about relationships. It's not gonna be 100% do as I say, bow down all the time, right? If y'all want Z to be real with y'all, if we're gonna if this is the Z channel y'all expect it to be, It ain't always gonna be do as I say all the time, right? You gonna have to give the ladies something, right? And so I understood what Nikki Giovanni was saying there. If once again, if I understood her correctly, I understand. Did that make sense? Anyway, right? If I understood her correctly, I done watched this thing at least I don't know, half dozen times, right? So yeah, no, you're gonna have to give the ladies something, and um, her being as pleasant as she could be, even on some of her worst days, you somewhat matching that energy, even on some of your worst days, I think complement each other. That once again, that does not mean you can say, babe, I need about 20 minutes to rage out. Me and my lady have this conversation, right? And sometimes it could be as little as playing Forza and a dude wrecking me out right before I hit the finish line, to as serious as work related stuff. It could be relationships, right? But yeah, and you have to realize you are giving the person ammunition to one day potentially destroy you, her, and the kids. That is the gamble of being in a relationship. Anybody that ever been married tells you he lying. Anyone that's ever been in a relationship for years tells you he lying. This is the gamble. Trail. Trail said, "Hey yo, dude, wrecking you out." Um, damn, I can't even say anything. Ugh. Crashing into my car and spinning my car out on the track. There we go. Any other way I would have said that again, just yeah, we would have came back right to this. Anyway, um, but yeah, no. So anything, yeah, you're this is the play of relationships. You are entrusting this person with your realest self. I really wanted to use another term, but Trell was gonna catch me up again. You're gonna you're allowing this person to meet the realest you, and you the realest them, hopefully. And the hope is that that person doesn't weaponize this against you one day. And we've seen that divorce rate in the black community, so it's probably gonna happen. And see, and this BGS cut right to it. And BGS says black women want you to tolerate their bad behavior, right? So it's not a two-way street. BGS, I don't know if you caught what I was saying literally about maybe 5 or 6, 7 minutes ago, which is what Nikki Giovanni said. I, I, I actually somewhat agree with her. I agree with her. If I could smile in the what she said, in the white boss's face, then why can't I come home and smile with her? Can I do that every day? Absolutely not. But why can't I come home and smile with her and fake it with her? To a certain extent. All right, fine. If that's what we're saying, fine. Guess what? You got to do it too, though. And this is where your comment comes in, BGS. Black women want you to tolerate their bad behavior. Absolutely not. If I have to know I had a bad day at work and I done raged out to you about work twice this week, so today I got to smile it up, then okay, you know what? If that's what we're doing, fine. Mr. Z's in a whole relationship, y'all. If my lady said that to me, look, I'm gonna need you to smile with me some days. You know what? Fine. Then guess what? You gotta play the same game. Huh? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, she is saying that. And BJS says, you perform for him, perform for me, is what she's saying. Yeah, yeah. BJS, I'm afraid to drop the link because I want to drop the link for you, but look, yeah, I might do that. Let me drop the link for BGS. Look, this is a BGS exclusive link, y'all. A BGS exclusive. That's what I'm saying, Cheryl. Reciprocity, exactly. This is a BGS exclusive link. If you click the link, I land you up because this is a regular streams, by the way. I know I didn't say it earlier. Don't put it in the comments. Don't put it in the comments. But yeah. BGS already know if it goes dead silent, he already know what's going on. So yeah, y'all give Z a second. Give me a second. So BGS could kind of give y'all his take. Give me a second. This link is for BGS, everyone. If you click the link, you're just gonna be sitting in the back. Well, yeah, you'll be sitting in the back room. And there you go, BGS. But yeah, no, that's yeah, no, but I agree with her to a certain extent, right? If because I'm asking you to perform for me, right? I'm asking you if you this literally the same thing. If you could be pleasant to your white bosses, why can't you be pleasant at home, right? So yeah, BJ saying say he was coming up though yet. I'm telling you, I say I'll put the link down for him. Let's see, right? But I think that's a woman thing though, Doctor D. I don't think that's a black woman thing, right? I think that's a woman thing. The I think because of the gynocracy, they really want you as a black man to perform. But I don't know if that's a exclusively black woman thing. I think it's exaggerated in the black community, obviously. But the perform for me, could you smile for me, right? Eh, right. I get it. I get it. I get it, and I agree with you to a certain extent. I do think black women doing way too much. I think they got a weird, distorted view of manhood because manhood to them is an on and off switch, and it's supposed to cater to them and their emotions and their whim at any moment at any time. So yeah, no, I could agree with. I can understand your frustration, but once again, I don't think that's exclusively a black women thing, right? Mr. Z, what is this simp Z today? Z, you start off right now. You're going wrong, Z. Right? So that's the thing, isn't it? And else is aren't black men smiling? Isn't that the thing though? Like so much of our complaint. So Nikki Giovanni, this is an old recording of her, right? Much of our complaint is actually that it's really black. That's what I was saying earlier. Actually, it's really black women with the scowl, right? The resting B face. It really is black women. That's not in especially contemporarily, that's not a black man thing. We're not known as the ones with the scowl on our face necessarily. That's a black woman thing, right? And not even only black men see that and say that, right? So I'll pause right here. What's going on, BGS?
Hey, what's going on, Mr. Z? Yeah,
Nothing much, nothing much.
I understand what she said. I understand what he was saying. In other words, I don't
Mm-hmm.
care. I don't care about your plight. I don't care how hard it is for you. You'll
Mm.
figure it out. Okay. What I want you is to be what I want you to be when you get home.
Doesn't that remind you somewhat of the song? What was it? The late '80s. Just be good to me.
Yeah.
So like that's what I'm saying. So what I wasn't thinking about, and that now that you just said it, is the part of I don't care about your plight. See
Yeah.
now when we start going there, now we in some dangerous territory. But the just be good to me part, the smile for me part, the you smile for the white man part, we know what word she used. We smile, you smile for the white man. Why can't you smile for me? I kind
Yeah.
of understand.
Yeah,
Am I wrong for that? Am I off?
no, I understand what you're saying, but
Mm-hmm,
I understand what she's saying. Okay.
mm-hmm,
He's saying, I got to go out and and you see it all the time. I got to go out and fight these dragons and stuff like
mm-hmm,
that,
mm-hmm,
and you're not understanding um, what I'm going through. And it's the same thing the white woman said. She said it
yeah.
wasn't the white women don't do it as badly, okay,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
but black women do it worse. In other words, I, I don't care what you're going through.
Hey,
I want my
F your
reality.
world, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Forget what you're going through.
Forget what you're
Yeah,
going through. That's a man's
yep,
thing. You're supposed to go through it. All I,
yep,
you know,
yeah.
but most other women understand that okay, if he's got to go out and slay these dragons, okay, this is gonna have some kind of effect on him when he comes home.
Yes. Yeah.
So I need to cater to him, blah blah blah, so that I can bring his spirits up because
Mhm.
that's what I'm supposed to be there for, right? Black women don't feel that way.
Mm. Yeah. No. So. I think that's a function of the gynocracy.
It
Other
is.
women are forced to deal with. He might come home and explode about something minor because of work, where black women are like, no, we run this, so we don't ever.
Uh,
We're
or,
never gonna deal with that.
or black men, most men don't come home to explode. Okay, they don't come
That's true.
in and what they want to get as far away from that work experience as they can. They know black men, most men. I'm not saying all. Most men don't want to
Mhm.
carry their work home with them. Okay, they want to get as far away from their work experience as they can. That's why they have a wife and family. They want to get away from it. But what they don't
Mm.
want to walk into is more work.
Yeah. Wait,
Oh,
I have to work after work.
they have to work after work. In other words,
That's what Dr. D was saying in my comments. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I have to work after work. In other words, now I have to come home and I got to smile at mama. I got to make mama feel
Hmm.
better. I got to make the
Yeah.
kids feel better. I
Yeah.
got to make everybody else feel better. So basically, it's work after work.
Hey, shout out to emotional labor.
It's emotional labor, which is why I'm trying to get. In fact, I do have the paper. I'm going to have to read it, Dr. T's paper, because he tried to get it submitted and they wouldn't accept it. Which I said that probably makes sense.
Ooh.
So I'm just going to read it into the record. I'm trying to get him to write. I know he wanted to write a paper so he could write a book on it about blackmail emotional labor. And
Of
that
course, they
that's
won't accept the black men emotional labor
eh,
as a paper. Of course
yeah,
not.
like she said this it's about just be good to me. She said I don't care that you went that you were you and Maddie, you and
Mhm.
Maddie were running off someplace. But when
Yep.
you're
Yep. Yep.
here,
Yep. Be
when you're
good to
here,
me.
I want what I want when you're here with me.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep. Yep.
I
Yeah.
want you
Oh,
I want you to perform for me when you're here.
but here's the thing, like I said, if black women, not the F what you going through, not that part, but if black women say that in a vacuum, just that part right there,
Mm-hmm.
I will say I accept that. Are you going to do the same? We know the answer is no. But if they say
Mm-hmm.
yes, if I can,
Mm-hmm.
if me and my lady have this conversation and she say yes, I can actually
Mm-hmm.
sign that contract. I could, okay,
Okay.
fine, right?
Okay. If we're gonna perform for each other, that's fine. But is that what she's saying?
No, absolutely not. We know that. That's the catch, right?
Now,
That's why I'm about letting
what
them
what
talk.
what do I care? What do I care that you were with some other girl? Okay.
Hmm.
Or would you doing something else behind my back? I don't care. All I
Hmm.
care is the experience I have with you when you're here with me. Do I get what I want when you're here with me?
Mm. And that answer for most black men is no.
I'd rather you piss off the boss and come home and give me that performance instead of giving it to
Yeah.
the boss. Okay.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
That's what he was saying. I can't perform for him and come home and perform for you. In fact, I think he just about said it.
Yeah. 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 He did. I think that's what he was saying towards the end of that. Yeah. Yeah. That's what. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rest in peace,
I said
Baldwin.
I
Baldwin and
know
thank you for Giovanni.
I know why I have to perform for the boss because the baby needs new shoes and the rent needs to get paid. Okay. And she said, "Fuck all that. Rent's gonna get paid.
Yeah.
Give
You
me what
know
I
what's
want."
it's crazy to me that Baldwin was a gay black man and he was able to pinpoint. He said it exactly,
Mm-hmm.
like flat. Our modern LGBTQ brothers be acting like they don't know what the hell we talking about.
They
But
do.
Baldwin, on the other hand,
I know a bunch of them. They know exactly what we're talking about. That's how
I
come
did say
most of them.
acting BGS.
Okay. That's the,
They
no,
be acting
I
like
know a
it.
bunch of them. I know a bunch of them that converted. Right. Okay.
Mm.
That
Hmm.
converted have kids. Okay. Had
Yeah.
wife and kids. Okay. And, dude, why? So what you doing? Can I can stand? Or I don't know if we can cuss on the stream, but
No, you good. You good.
okay. I can't understand them bitches no more. Okay.
Uh,
Men and they said it. Men are easier to deal with.
hey, that DV rate says so too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Men are easy. Men. Oh, Princella said the same thing.
Yeah.
Princella said the
Uh,
exact same thing.
yeah.
Men are
Yeah.
black black men are easier to deal with than black women.
Yeah.
So so they know. That's why come when they come in front of me, I never went that way. I've been offered, but I never went that way because I don't like men like that. So same
Look at
thing.
what Chip.
Same reason I don't like white women. It's not
Mhm.
that they wouldn't have sex with white women. I just don't
Yeah.
like them. I'm not
Yeah.
attracted to them.
Me
So
neither. Me neither.
so
Me neither.
even though I know a bunch of them, I'm cool with gay men. Okay.
Mhm.
And they offer, so bro. I said I probably would, except what? I'm not attracted to men. All right. I don't know if that's fine with you, but that's where I roll.
That ain't my
Hey,
thing.
my bag. I said
Literally.
I have no problem where you stick your whatever your parts at, man. I ain't got nothing against that. That's just I'm just not into it. But yeah, but I talk to them all the time. That's the first thing they tell you is that it's half of it is dealing with women. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, women know this. I think they just feel like men owe them this,
Black women
right?
feel like men owe
Yeah,
them this. Okay.
yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with that.
Well, but yeah,
And
they do.
let me read this real quick. Chef Butterbiscuit says, and thank you for the super chat. It's a woman thing in general. Hence why I've mentioned earlier that non-black men will eventually have to stop sacrificing their daughters to the mayonnaise juicer of this mess. Will sink all of humanity. Yeah.
The mayonnaise
Well,
juicer of this mess. I don't know. Okay,
I, I,
and translate.
I think he
I'm
means
trying to
white
do
men. I think Asian dudes need to stop sacrificing their daughters. Latino dudes need to stop sacrificing their daughters to the white dude.
to the white dude. Talking about working for him or what?
Chef
Someone
Butterbiscuit, you might have to clarify a little bit.
having sex with them. What do you mean by sacrifice? Because Latino men and Asian men and black men are not doing anything to send their daughters to the white man unless
The
you're talking about
daughters
sending
is
them to
going
school.
over there. Yeah.
They're going over there. Yeah, they doing it on their own free will. That's called racial hypergamy. Has
Yeah.
nothing to do with us.
Yeah. Right. I don't want to put words in your mouth, Chef Butter Biscuit. So on that one, you have to clarify a little
You have
bit.
to
But I
clarify. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think,
Yeah.
and I don't even know if I translated it exactly the way you just did.
I don't know how men are sacrifice black men sacrificing their daughters to white men. It doesn't make sense to me. Unless you talk about sending them to school, and
Mm,
that's then you're sacrificing your children to the white collective.
yeah.
If that's the case, but you got to remember for black men, black women were shipped over here to be concubines for white men. So I don't get what you're saying.
Yeah, let me see if he okay when he puts that clarification, I'll read that. And he
Okay,
continues this. Is that BGS? Can I crash out on y'all, thus fulfilling the um what is it, Maggie prophecy?
the Mago prophecy.
The Maggle prophecy. I'm lost a little bit on that one too.
I don't know. He got his own conversation going. Okay, I'm gonna depend on you to translate because I'll tell you when I understand shit. Okay, can you
Me
translate for
too.
me? Because I'll tell you when I can't understand. People think, well, be just you want to always be right. That sometimes I don't understand what the fuck you just said. I said,
Oh
can
man.
somebody translate for me? Because I don't get it. I have to do
So
that with
this
Andre all the
biscuits.
time. Can somebody translate for me?
Oh no, that yeah, that's the whole that's the Canadian Jamaican Canadian translator that we need for that one. For
Yeah.
Dre sometimes.
I don't think Drake can translate himself because when I question him, he doesn't know. Drake say, "Oh, in other words, you just talking because you don't even know what the fuck you
No,
talking about."
no.
Okay.
I think, and shout out to Dre. I think he represents way more people than, and not just black people, BGS, than you would like to believe.
I
That
believe
they
it.
say something, and and they it makes sense in their head, but when you ask them to elaborate and clarify,
Yeah, it
it's
starts to fall.
difficult to do it. Yeah,
It
exactly.
falls
Yeah.
apart because then all of a sudden, no, then you have to examine it. Oh, it's not as solid as I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's,
that's yeah, yeah. Because how often do you? I said it the other day. Like this is like what we're doing here and challenging people's ideas, the words they use,
mm-hmm,
and just the way they feel about stuff. I didn't
mm-hmm,
even say think, the way they feel about stuff before we even get to the way they think about things.
mm-hmm.
That doesn't happen in people's everyday life.
No, this is like Socrates. It's like
Exactly.
yeah the walking school basically. We walk and you talk and you say things and we examine it and we shake
Mhm.
them out and then okay now that you looked at it, now what? And then we walk on.
I used to have a young white male coworker I worked with some years ago, and he would just throw out comments sometimes.
Mm-hmm,
And I got it because this is a dude, 21. His dad already bought him his house, and
mm-hmm.
do just one of those guys that like the dad was just waiting for you to get a stable job, and he was gonna give you everything else.
Yeah,
So right, so you can maintain. So
yeah,
I got it right, conservative white dude, whatever. And he just would throw out these comments, and I would challenge them, and you would watch it like fall apart. I
yeah.
kind of get it because you're 21 years old, so excuse me, I don't expect you to have everything together clearly.
Mm-hmm.
But with that, it's like, bro, do you really appreciate like what you're saying? Like, let's walk that all the way to its logical conclusion.
I want to be the smartest person in the room, so it must since I thought it must make sense.
Yeah, no.
No, no,
And
no,
Saint
no,
Cyr
no,
says it here.
no intellectual. Was it humbleness?
No. Saint Cyr says the thought isn't fully collected and expressed well.
Okay.
That's what it is. The certain thoughts just aren't. Yeah, people don't flush out their thoughts. You're
It's a,
what?
it's a thought, but it's not. It's
Yeah,
thought. It's just a thought. That's all it is.
yeah,
It doesn't. We have to be connected to anything.
yeah.
But that doesn't mean you have to interject it for people to examine. That's
Shit,
just
I
your thought.
don't know, BGS. I was saying earlier before you jumped on. I've been kind of following some of this USPS privatization thing, and I already know they've been trying to do this for decades.
Yeah,
But
it's the reason. Okay, I'll
mhm,
explain it to you. It's
mhm.
impossible without changing the Constitution.
Yeah, no, I know, no, but here's the thing. But I'm wanting to get to this comment. Mm, I'm reading through comments because that's what we do. I'm reading through comments and constantly keep on seeing people say, "Yeah, privatize it so we can stop getting this junk mail." I'm like, "Oh, you don't even
They
understand
pay
how
for
this
that.
works." Thank you. But that going back to what we're saying, you didn't have this thought fully flushed out, huh? You didn't have anybody push back on this. You didn't. You've never been really challenged on what you think politically, socially. Like you don't even know that the USPS is not the one sending you the junk mail. Do you
Yeah,
understand? Like they're being paid to bring this to your home.
yeah.
Like, do you even know this? So okay, fine, we privatize it. Okay, fine, everything goes through it gets
Hey,
privatized. All right,
they get
how does
worse.
that stop? Thank you. Like, wait a minute. How do you think they're going to be able to generate revenue now by flooding you with junk mail even more?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ! But once
Just,
again,
just like the cell phone companies in the spam calls.
yeah,
They
they get paid for that.
they pay
They
for
get paid
that.
for that. That goes back to what we're saying. These thoughts aren't fully fleshed out, and I think also that's a function of being in echo chambers. So it's you thinking to yourself, you make sense, and so you say certain things, which might not even be the worst thing because at least
uh,
someone might challenge it. But then when you're in echo chambers on top of that, I think that just
yeah,
makes it worse.
and I think some of these panels are echo chambers, and
Mm,
they just throw out thoughts, and I guess if you throw enough thoughts up against the wall, something will come out of it.
there's so fun. There's so much funny in that BGS. There's
Hmm.
so much fun. But the inner 12-year-old in me. If we throw so much thoughts at the wall, something gonna come out of it.
Yeah,
Yes,
some
something gonna
yeah,
come out the damn thoughts here,
yeah,
son.
something might come out of it. So
Right.
yeah, I have nothing against it.
Right. So yeah, no, look, yeah, but remember, these are the people that vote, though.
Yeah,
That'd be
that's
scary
true.
to me.
And
Ah,
they'll bring they'll bring stuff from someplace else over to here so we can actually verify it. So
yeah,
that's what I hear a lot of.
yeah.
Hey, Andre does that all the time. I know it came from someplace else, and he's trying to
Mhm.
see if it's going to hold water. But where he came from, they can't. They don't have enough intellectual capacity to do that, so he brings it over here.
Then that might
And
not be
said,
the worst thing in the world.
it be just, what do you think? I said, why don't you just pay me to, just have a session and you can sort all that stuff out. We can examine it, okay, instead of doing it on a panel.
Yeah. Well, so there you go. So that might not be the worst thing in the world, where you hear something and you bring that thought to a more trusted group of people.
Hmm.
Might number one, that might be low key. They're not even low key. It's kind of flattering. But number two, you know that these people have your best interest at heart and they're gonna push back or they're gonna give you something else to think
Yeah,
about. Yeah, yeah.
it's fine if it's in the flow of the conversation.
You know that's not how that shit go, BJ.
Yeah, well, that's why we had to get on, because it got to be too much. Okay, okay, one or two. Even on my panels, one, two, maybe even three, we'll let it go. But if it's constant, okay, okay, we're not here to serve you. Okay, if you're not going to be in the flow of the conversation, then you know, and
Yeah.
because just believe, I can't do it on other people's panel, but I'll stop. I'll hold everybody
Mm,
back. I said, okay, let's deal with, because I did it at one time. We talked about the Twitter thing and Nancy Pelosi, okay, and her
yep,
following the
yep, yep.
trades, okay, and he did it like three times. I said, stop everybody. Okay, now let's explore that. Okay, so why'd you bring it up, and how does that fit into what we're saying?
So when you speak about the flow, this is a conversation I have with I said this to name it, but there's and I occasionally do this to be honest with you too, but where it's you're on the expressway.
Mm-hmm.
We might dip off on one of the access roads for a little
Mm-hmm.
bit. We might even
Mm-hmm.
go a block over, but we're coming back to expressway. When we get off the expressway and then you want to go local 5 miles out, wait a minute. That's not what we're doing here.
Yeah.
We have a flow going, so we might mention something here, and like I said, we might go a block or two out. Let's say we go a block or two out and
Yeah.
have that conversation for a minute or two, and come
Yeah.
right back on the expressway and keep
Yeah.
going. We
Yeah.
ain't trying to go all the way 5 miles inland to to go into the weeds and whatever. So yeah. I've listened to some of the panels and heard Dre do that, and I get it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. He'll keep bringing it back up until he gets an answer. Okay. Why is this so important to you? And that's what I want to ask. Okay. You brought it up 3 times. Why is this so important to you?
Yeah. Well, one thing, I think that people, you said it best. I think that sometimes it's not just a Dre thing, right? We hear something, or we're part of another panel and we want to bring it to some people that we think might have more of an intellectual heft, or at least will maybe give us a different reference, a
Mm-hmm.
different point of view. And so, and to be frank with you, BJS, you know how you're seen in this space. So people bring it to spaces where you are, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
your own panel or somewhere else, and they'll bring it up, and then they want you to walk them through, like literally hold their hand,
Mm-hmm. Walk
walk
them through
them through it
through the logic. Yeah.
while they're pushing back. By the way,
Yeah. I noticed that.
while they're pushing back. That's crazy.
I noticed
Look,
that.
look,
Yeah.
Chef Butter Biscuits done hit me with a whole big.
Oh, he
Look,
paid
Chef
you
Butter.
for it. He
Yeah,
paid you
look,
for it. Okay.
a whole big hundo. All right, Chef Butter Biscuits. I see you. I see you. Big balling over there. I see you. I see you. And Chef
Okay.
Butter Biscuits
So when
is.
other groups of men assimilating to white society, they
Mm,
will play dumb as their daughters will go after white men in their worship
mm.
of them. Z has said white men will play dumb as to why these non-white men are chasing them, and
I think it'd be
sometimes
non-white women. Yeah, non-white
not
women.
white women are chasing them, and sometimes these women are crazy afterwards or
No.
worse.
So yeah, no. When I have said that. So we've met those guys. I've worked with those guys. They play dumb and obtuse about the racial hierarchy and racial
Mm,
hypergamy,
yeah,
and why non-black women chase after them. So
yeah,
yeah, no. So thank you for the clarification, Chef Butter Biscuits.
yeah,
Yes, no,
yeah.
that is a
That's
real thing.
but that's not our men sacrificing our women. Okay, we're
Yeah.
not doing it. Okay, we're not raising our daughters up to worship and chase white men.
I see. Okay, okay. So this was an argument that actually I get what Chef Butter Biscuits is saying. It's an argument Sarge Willie Pete made once, which is, and he used, I want to if I recall correctly, he used the Asian community, which is Asian guys raising their children to not necessarily be like black children, the negative stereotypes of black kids. Okay, cool.
Okay.
And so you raise your kids to be maybe a little bit more malleable, maybe a little bit more pleasant around white folks. You don't really see that's what you're doing. You think you're just raising them to be American.
Mm-hmm.
And then your daughter turns around and has a white male worship complex, right? So
Yeah, cause
it
yeah,
whether
you're.
you realize or not, you're in raising them to quote unquote be American.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you think you're doing, but
Mm-hmm.
you might be actually taking that a step too far, right?
Because you're also raising your son to integrate into society too. It's not just her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, but the white women ain't choosing the Asian dude the way white men are choosing the Asian woman, right? So like
That's
that, yeah.
yeah. Well, that's true. That is true. But
So
that's
that's the
called
barrier to entry for them. Yeah,
that's the racial hypergamy. It has nothing to do with
yes,
the men.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. And Chef Butter Biscuit says, I hope that makes more sense. It does, and I hope I explained that the way
Okay.
you meant it. Yeah,
Okay. I know what he means, even though I
yeah,
don't agree with it. But yeah, I know what he means.
yeah,
Because
yeah. And
I know black men ain't doing that shit. Okay.
that's what I was gonna. I think black men situation is a bit different in that. I think because I think there's a racial consciousness that black folks, in particular black men, even more particular, are forced into, that non-black folks get to
Yeah.
play around with and act
Yeah.
like they don't get it
What,
sometimes, or really don't get it sometimes.
what I don't understand about black women is basically black. A lot of black men lost their lives protecting you from the ravages of white
Mm.
men. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And then
Yeah.
you turn around when things open up. Now you're gonna prefer them. Okay. They're the ones that used to come into the house and rape you. okay, and all that kind of grape you, excuse me, used to
No, you're okay.
ravage you,
I'm
okay.
demonetized like a mug anyway, BGS.
Well, Chef Butter Biscuit just made up for all that, so you're not even worried
Right?
about that, okay?
Exactly right.
Because
I'm re-
you wasn't going to get that in monetization. Let's put it that way, okay?
Not definitely not.
Not
Hey,
okay.
y'all can ask BGS. Like when I tell you they got a shadow ban like a mug, man.
Man, I see people I see, like I was telling people yesterday. When I was doing the other day when I was doing the thing about feminism, right? I said, okay.
Mhm,
I said, I don't even. I said if I wanted to make money, all I have to do is do reaction videos just like everybody else, and that has
mhm,
200,000
mhm, mhm.
subscribers. Okay, I don't have to be here shadow banned, trying to break new ground for you.
It's yeah, yeah. I could have easily opened up a Forza. Forza's a racing game. A
Hmm.
Forza page and record myself racing. And easily get maybe a 10,000 sub. All I would need is 10,000, 15,000 subscribers,
Hmm.
and I'll be eating.
Hmm.
Right? No manosphere talk, no black manosphere talk, none of
Hmm.
that. Just y'all watching me race and compete and lose and win and get
Hmm.
podium. And yeah,
Hmm.
that if I
Hmm.
all I would need, I would be profitable, making more than I get from the super chats at about maybe not even 10,000, maybe 5 or 7,000,
Yeah,
if
depends.
even that much.
It
Yeah,
depends. I think you need about 20.
20 to really start seeing them numbers
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
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 yeah. But advertise when the advertisers like y'all, I'm
yeah.
telling you, when they
Oh,
like you, they
oh
like
yeah,
you.
they
You
like you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I could go. I could. I could do easily do products,
Mhm.
especially computer and tech products. That's easy.
But this man woman, I'm glad. So you said it on whose panel, or was that on your own channel? I was listening in, and you made the comment. This is why we're speaking about the man woman thing, essentially, which is what I've been saying
Oh,
for
oh,
like a
oh,
couple years.
yeah, there was one of there's one they talked about. I think it was on Monday when he talked about the black family is the reason. And the race between black men and black women and the black family is the reason what we don't have what we call wealth and generational wealth. Okay,
Yes.
and why
Yeah.
our children do not earn what the Indian folk, Indian people, and the
Hmm,
Asian
hmm,
people,
hmm.
stuff like that. He's talking about the marriage race and the relationship between the man and the woman is why they earn so much, why those families earn so much. Okay,
Yes.
and the marriage rate and the relationship rate, the divorce rate in the black family, that's like we're at the bottom. And people say, well, the relationship between black men and women are not important because there's, you should be talking about jobs and money and all those other kind of craps. And basically, he was telling you, okay, because he's been doing this shit for 50 years. I met the
Yep.
dude a few times. I actually interviewed him like 2 or 3 times, and I actually met him a couple
Hmm.
times, right? And he's been doing this shit for like 50. Frazier has been doing this shit for like 50 years, and that's his main thing about success in business and black business cooperation. That kind of that's his lane, and he's telling you he's giving you the reason how come black people do not earn as much as or don't have as much wealth as other groups of people. Okay, and it came down to the relationship between the man and the woman, the black family.
Let me say this, BJ, because I said this to a couple of brothers offline. I'm not gonna put their name out right now.
Hmm.
But they are part of the Black Manosphere.
Hmm.
A few weeks ago, and I was like,
Hmm.
I'm coming to these conclusions, and it feels like I'm stumbling on them.
Hmm.
I'm adding these things up, and it's always refreshing.
Your eyes are open to them. They've been there. Usually your eyes are open
Yes,
to them. Yeah.
and I feel like I'm stumbling into them,
Hmm.
but when it's reiterated by a professional,
Yeah.
it's like right. So
Yeah.
Frazier saying that. So I've been saying for a couple of months since we got the information about single and childless black women have 8 cents to white man's dollar. They have the least
Mm,
amount of wealth in America, and
mm,
black men have 20. Single and childless black men have 21 cents. And I've been saying for months, well, if y'all would couple up with us, we could try to see if that 30 cents, give or take, could make something shake.
it,
But you would
it's
much rather have your 8 cents. And I'm kind of
it,
saying what Frazier's saying, but you know,
and basically even okay, you'll learn this. But I've learned this. Even when you're with them, basically you're in opposition. That's the problem with black
see,
marriage. Okay, you're still in opposition with that woman, even if you're together with her.
So it's 8 cents plus 21 cents maybe.
Yeah, maybe. It may be, because I know I had to go through that with my children.
Ugh.
I had a track for all three of my children. My son should have been in the
Mhm,
NBA at least a couple years. Okay, my
mhm,
daughter, my middle daughter should have went to the Ivy League school. Okay, she should have. She had the talent for it. And my baby should have been in Cuba learning to be a doctor.
mm,
But that's not what the mother's side wanted. They
mm.
wanted to coddle the kids. I mean, they still came out okay, but not nearly where they should have been.
Yeah, yep, yep, yep. Yeah, yeah. The opposition, and so that's where I come in once again. Get on a black man's program, right? So these are things I'm saying, and I think that's what we do here is we dispel some myths, we confirm some truth, right? We explain certain things, right? And yeah, no, so that's why once again, that's why I come in and say get on a
Yeah.
black man's program. Because if you're
Yeah.
in the relationship and you're not on my program, then that's where we get into the adversarial type of situation. Like, what are we here
Okay.
doing? Just
Well,
having sex?
Chef, the thing is, what you talked about sacrificing your daughters and sacrificing your sons to the white mayonnaise, right? We just told you why. Look who earns the most money. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, East Indians. Who earns the second? Asians, right? Okay.
Yep.
They model themselves not to sacrifice themselves to the white mayonnaise people. It's because they want to make money, be successful in the system.
Yeah.
That's why they do
And
it.
and and their daughters happen to be in those spaces,
Yeah.
and well, there you go.
I mean, our daughters would probably be in those spaces, but be doing the same thing, except what
I
black
said it
white
earlier.
white men don't prefer them. That's
I
all.
said that earlier. That's
Yeah.
and that's really what it that is something very few black women are willing to admit to themselves because I think it hurt their feelings like a mug to admit that they're in these spaces with the white dudes and they might be able to get smashed out by them, but they're not marrying them in any significant number, right? It's
Hmm.
that I think that's a ripping a lot of black women apart is that the majority of them will never be Kentanji. You just ain't this just you that's just not how it's gonna work. You're not gonna be De Blasio's wife, which
No.
they're separated right now. But yeah, so she's doing her liquor license thing, but they still married on paper,
Yeah.
right? So
Well, yeah. It's political marriage, but anyway.
yep, that yeah. And let me read this. Chef Butter Biscuit says, "Sorry, never meant to include Ado's black men. It's in reference to the model minority and others. I'll better explain myself behind the wall. I'm trying BGS.
Well,
I get it.
I understand what he's saying. But the thing is that um, you're looking at them sacrificing their daughters. The thing is, they don't want their daughters to be poor like black people. They want
Hmm.
their daughters to be successful in the system, and Asian women are making their choice.
Yes,
So I mean, trust and believe the Asian men are not happy about it.
they're not at all. At all. I've met in real life conversations
Yeah,
and definitely online.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're
they're
not
not
happy. They're not happy about it. Okay, they have
because
to
they can't move
tolerate it.
the same. Yeah, and
Yeah,
they
yeah,
can't move the same.
yeah.
So what they're doing is waiting on the sidelines for the few Asian women that white dudes toss back, and for
Hmm.
the Asian women that never went over there in the first place. And there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Yeah,
Or doing what they're doing now, which is import them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hurry up, import her, marry her before the white dude get a hold of her.
Hmm.
Hopefully.
Hmm. Well,
But
if they don't go to school with them, they're less likely to be um,
yeah,
inured by white men.
yeah. Then that's the whole other conversation about white propaganda, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
so yeah,
Yeah,
what that
yeah.
means between the because it's not simply the European beauty standard concerning women.
Mm-hmm.
It's the idea of success, white men, masculinity, white men,
Status,
and a status, white
social
men.
status, which is the
Yep,
biggest thing.
yep,
It's not even
yep,
masculinity, it's social status. Because
yep,
it's about masculinity, then they would choose black men.
yeah.
Black
Well,
men are the masculine ideal in this
so
country.
I've said this in particular in America. What the position that white men hold when it comes to masculinity and manhood is the just right temperature masculinity. Black men are too hyper masculine. They're really trying to make up for the fact that they're really effeminate, right? And then Asian men are too docile and soft, and so white men are just the right temperature of manhood for your average woman. And I'm not saying that's actually true. I'm saying this is like the
unwritten, kind of implied, suggested narrative in America concerning manhood. Right, Latinos are kind of doing their own thing, the machismo, and like you don't really know which one of them is LGBTQ, and these dudes out here waxing their eyebrows, so you don't really know, right? The black men are too hyper masculine and aggressive to make up for actually being a bit feminine, and the Asian dudes are too stoic, but they also too soft. White men are just right, and like that's the narrative. And how does that work for well anyone not a white man as a man? Right? So I get it, especially if you're a woman and you bought into that narrative, or you weren't paying attention but you still bought into that narrative. I get it.
Mm.
Right. So yeah, I don't know if how much you disagree or agree with that.
It was that is the narrative. Okay, that's the narrative that is presented, and I understand the coping mechanism, but it's bullshit. It's about the access to the
Thank you.
status that white men
Yep.
present. That's what it's
Yep.
about. So all
Yep.
that other crap about white men being that's not true. Okay,
Yep.
white women will tell you that black men are the most egalitarian men on the planet.
Ain't nobody trying to hear that, BGS. We trying to drive these Benz G wagons and have our house in the
And
suburbs, and
guess
our kids
what?
go to private school.
The foreign women know. Foreign women know that, and that
Hmm.
as passport bros grow, that's what they're finding out. Oh, okay.
Hmm.
These black men are a lot different. In fact,
Hmm. Hmm.
black men are starting to be sought out, even on the continent.
I don't. I gotta say this while you up here, BGS. And I said this to Black Widow a few years ago because black men actually want to be loved. It's
They do.
not about a power game for us.
No, I
We
mean
don't
we're
want
not.
to. Yeah,
We're
go
not
ahead.
socialized to be that. We black.
Yep,
The thing
yep,
is, and
yep.
I've said this a lot, man, and black women are starting to, well, as they venture out, they're starting to other groups. They starting to notice that black men are actually designed to serve. Okay,
Yep, 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 yep,
we're trained to
yep,
serve. We're not trained to rule over. We're trained to serve. Okay, and
yep.
this is because somebody sent me something about SNCC. Okay,
Hmm.
and
The civil rights group.
civil rights group SNCC, and basically that's where I didn't realize SNCC was actually infiltrated, not infiltrated, but Ella Baker brought feminists into the SNCC organization.
Oh, I never
White
knew that.
white feminists, yeah. In
Yeah,
fact,
yeah.
I'll
Hmm.
send you the video
Hmm.
where this white woman actually she has to research it. Okay, that's where the white people came into the civil rights movement is through SNCC.
Mm.
It wasn't through the southern the southern uh, leadership. Okay,
Yep, yep, yep.
SCLC. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
Southern Christian Leadership Council. In
Yep,
fact, Ella Baker left it is because uh, sh and formed another group is because she wanted black women to have a higher position in the
in the
leadership.
different civil rights groups. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's why she started a different civil rights group, of young students. Um,
Mm.
and she's the one actually brought in white feminists. In fact, they had a position paper. It's funny. I'll send you the video, and
Yes, please,
that's where
please,
all
and thank you.
that's where all the stuff comes in, and then the split came in between the black and white feminists and stuff like that is because um, white women wanted black women to see black men the same way that they saw
Mm.
white men, and black women tell them that's not our experience. Okay,
Yep, yep.
you having a voice in your community is not. We already have a voice. Okay, we run. Basically, they're saying we already run this. We don't need
Yep,
to
yep, yep,
be in
yep.
leadership. We run it. Okay, we already run
Hmm.
it. Okay, you don't
And
run
but
yours, but we run ours.
and the narrative now is how put upon black women are, and how they've always been that concerning
Yeah,
black men. Now,
yeah,
is that actually true? No. Any cursory look at any type of American history will say that.
yeah,
But the narrative, because what happens when you over-index on the victim of every particular narrative,
yeah,
you have to maintain this position of I've always been under the thumb of men, and particularly as a black woman, black men. So
yeah.
you can't actually be honest about the dynamics on the plantation, coming off the plantation, Jim
Mm,
Crow era,
yeah.
all the way up to today. You can't be honest about the dynamic between black men and black women.
That's why I'm
So,
shocked that that a pro-black group is using the Moynihan report as even
yeah,
as the base
yep,
of
yep,
anything, because Moynihan said the exact same thing. Basically,
mhm,
that the black family is upside down to the other
yep,
to the American group, right? That's why we
Yeah.
call it a matriarchy, right? Because the women
Mhm.
run things. Okay, if you look at all the stats, everything is the opposite of what it was in the white community.
Shout out to that coverage that you did a few years ago, where the light skinned sister straight up said, and the problem is, she really was saying, and so what's the problem? And 50 years later,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Basically, yeah.
oh man, Trell did some research for me on that, and he was like, she was a professional, and I think she was a host of whatever, and yeah, so she was a very educated sister, but
Oh yeah.
the beauty of back then, see,
Hmm.
they didn't know well enough to lie yet,
Yeah.
right? They didn't know well enough to lie. That you even see that with that special, that what was whatever special that was, where the 18-year-old sisters and 20-year-old sisters were saying, "Why would I need a man? A man is
Yeah.
a, you know." They
Yeah.
didn't know better enough to. They didn't know good enough to lie yet.
Yeah.
After
They,
that age group is when you start getting the men are leaving and they're going to get milk and not coming back, and they're horrible fathers, and we don't want to marry them because they were bad men. No, 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 no. What they said the first time was the real. That was the truth. Look,
yeah.
we don't want to get married to
We don't. Yeah.
them,
No.
right?
Yeah. We don't. We want to be under
Yeah,
them. Yeah.
yeah. And we run this, and the problem is no,
Hmm.
y'all need to socialize these men to get on our program. Not
Hmm.
none of this stuff about them leading. Nope, 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 nope.
You Tariq Nasheed quoting Kevin Samuels.
Yep, yep,
Kevin Samuels quoting Tariq Nasheed following. Uh,
yep,
you side with the oppressor and say
yep, yep, yep,
get behind your women and
yeah,
basically get
yeah.
behind your women. So and he's
And
this election cycle kept really emphasized that basically what Barack Obama said. They said you don't want a sister, right? In other words, get behind your woman.
so I this exposed black women's hand a little too much, and I think it put them in the worst pincer move they could be in. It's
Mm-hmm.
very clear what the white women just told you,
Mm-hmm.
and you've alienated yourself over the past couple decades away from black men. So
Couple
now this
five
is
try
when
five
the yeah,
try
yeah, well,
5 decades.
more like for a few decades
Mm-hmm.
over black men. You've alienated yourself from them.
Mm-hmm.
Now what? That's the question for
Yeah.
black women, right? Like
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
now that white women did what they always do this to y'all. Now that they did it all again, and it was so clear and public and visible.
Mm-hmm.
Now what?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
never get. I gotta say this, BJ. I gotta put it on the record again. Dear black women, you ain't never gonna get white men. I mean, white women, because what you thought you were telling white women is align with us, and we could go out into the sunset and not have to listen to men, and we could take from elite white men and rule our own situation. And what you
Yeah.
didn't appreciate about white women is you just told her that you're gonna take from her brother and her dad and her
Mm-hmm.
boyfriend and her
Mm-hmm.
husband and her
Mm-hmm.
uncle and her nephew. White women were never going to sign up for a sisterhood that took away from their men.
Mm-hmm.
You might do it, but
Yeah.
they ain't going to do it.
Yeah. As I was listening, and that's why I put that clip about Polly Murray about. That's why I played it. Is because what she was saying. That's intersectional feminism. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We the free society has to come through sexism, through feminism. Okay.
Yep.
And then the black women and the Asian women and the Latin women will come into feminism and lift up their group through a freer society, right? Shit didn't happen.
Mm. Yeah. But it was look. You what? Let me state a statement again, BGS. Y'all thought that white women.
Yes,
Say
they
again.
did.
White first. White
Hmm.
women.
Hmm.
Not women. White. White women. We're gonna backstab white men
Hmm.
to munch on some vagina.
Well, not even much on vagina.
I know I'm saying like that on purpose,
Yeah,
BJ. I'm
yeah,
doing that on.
okay,
I'm going that
yeah,
far on purpose
uh
to
huh.
munch on some vagina with you,
Hmm.
or to because I don't think they appreciate how other people see the black community. Like you thought white women were gonna try to do their version. Like they might play gynocracy a bit, but you thought they was gonna go full on gynocracy, and to have what's going on in the black community happen over there. Come on, man, stop it,
Well,
stop it.
what I'm saying, okay, say they were wrong, okay, and they found out they're wrong. Say they found out they're wrong by 1980, okay.
Yeah.
Why are they still lying about it? If that's the case, 40 years later,
I actually don't have an answer to that, BJ. I don't have a response to that.
because you see it didn't work, okay,
Yeah.
and that's how come you started womanism because you see it didn't work. Okay.
pride, ego, resentment. You you ever met someone, they're wrong, they're going in the wrong direction, but they're so angry that wrong isn't working for them, they're just gonna keep on going?
Hmm. Okay.
There you go. Screw it, I don't care. This is what I want to do. I'm gonna just keep going this direction, even if it kills me.
That's why I warn FD signifier. If you want to, if
Hmm.
you want to, if you want to dance this dance, we can bring the whole house down. If you want to dance
Yeah.
this dance, I think that's why they left. Okay, well, these dudes know what they're doing, and they can bring this whole thing down if we keep messing with them.
Hmm. Well, I, this election, the results, the
Hmm.
way, but I was fascinating watching black women record themselves feeling so hurt that 52, 53% of white women said, yeah, about that. Nah. Right? Like, nah, we ain't doing that. Because, and this is where FD comes along, and Olay was hurt like a mug, and what did you? I don't know what y'all think white women are. Maybe because I'm in the South,
Hmm.
right? Maybe because I'm in the South, I understand.
He's in Atlanta. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
He ain't that far from
yeah,
you.
yeah. True, true. Ah, what? But once again, what you thought? You thought white women were gonna betray white men to be more like black women? They don't see negative liberty the same. Yeah, they okay. They do the whole girls gone wild thing in their early and mid 20s. They trying to be wifed up by 28, 29. Look at
Yeah,
the marriage numbers. They not
yeah,
trying to do black women got narcossy thing. No, they do wild, dumb stuff. By the time they 28, 29, 30, they trying to be wifed up. They're
yeah.
not. What's happening is people are in their bubbles, both online and in real life,
Hmm.
and they're interacting with these purple hair feminist white women, and you think she represents far more white women than she actually does. And even
Ish.
Olay had to concede this. Like, we
Yeah.
need to start getting out of our bubbles as liberals and progressives. And
I mean,
I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna
I
leave that
mean,
BJS. Go ahead.
I've been in the progressive and liberal bubble, okay,
Mhm,
and I've heard that stuff. And that stuff doesn't make sense. That's how I got out of the
mhm,
bubble, okay, because it doesn't make sense. And I've seen
yeah,
them contradict themselves because I've been behind the scenes and I've
mhm,
talked to these people and I've been to, like when the Green Party first started. I've been in those meetings, okay, and I've been to been to those rallies, okay. And when you challenge them with a question, they have no answers. It's okay. I get you. I see where this is going.
wow. Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm seeing stuff they don't see. I said, wait a minute, how could you guys not? So you guys supposed to be the smartest people in the room. How come you guys don't see this stuff?
So I wonder if this is a part of post structuralism where I don't have to build on these things, right? It just
Okay,
should be. So okay. Um, I think Leon was the one that he said he had a conversation with a couple of black feminists,
okay,
and his question was, after they proposed everything to team up with black men and kind of whatever bring the community forward, whatever, and he asked
mm-hmm,
a simple question, which was, what's the incentive for men, for the black men? And they just
yeah.
couldn't. Their brains melted. It's like,
Well,
I don't know. Okay,
they're
you
not the
never
only
thought about it.
they're not the only ones. Pro blacks do the same thing.
Yeah. See, in other words, you're saying they should do it because it's the quote unquote right thing to do,
Yeah, yeah,
not for any other material gain, um,
yeah.
mental, nothing
And
outside of some
they
type of emotional
they
gain.
expect they expect the that's why I put the thing about Black Jesus right on the cross. Okay, I'm sacrificing for you in because it's an altruistic um, endeavor. Okay, I don't get anything out of it. I am
Ooh,
sacrificing myself so that you might live. Right.
I don't. Altruism is a good thing, and occasionally you'll have somebody be altruistic towards you. I
Hmm.
don't know about putting all your chips and cards on on another person or group of people or entity being altruistic
What else do they have
in
to
a way that
sell?
benefits you. Well,
What else?
yeah,
What
there
else
you
do they
go.
have to sell?
The
They have to
disappearance of the black community.
they have to guilt you into that. Yeah.
Yeah,
If you don't do this, if you don't
yeah.
sacrifice yourself and change and try to cater to and change these snarky women and clean up their so-called bastard kids, then
Yeah,
the black community will disappear. And then what's going to happen to you? A lot of guys that
yeah,
say, let it burn. Okay, we're
yeah.
willing,
Shrug shoulders.
yeah, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
let it burn.
Hey, who said it in my comments that said Jermaine shrugged? Was it better you?
Jermaine,
What somebody said?
Jermaine
Right?
shrugged.
Jermaine shrugged.
Oh, I seen. I got to go to image creator.
I see. I knew it. I see a stream. I see a stream coming. I see a stream coming. Jermaine shrugged.
Jermaine shrugged.
Jermaine shrugged. Jermaine shrugged. Right. And I think okay, this would have been a different conversation if we were just getting here with the schism between black men and black women. If this was something more recent, you would have been able to play on black men's heartstrings. I think way more. You could have
Hmm.
played black men. You could have used these kind of fear tactics. But where black men are concerning black women and the kind of nuclear fallout that is the black community, you
Hmm.
can't pull on them
Yeah,
heartstrings with
yeah,
the weather when the black community is going to get destroyed.
yeah,
And black men are like, I see rubble everywhere.
yeah. It's
Right?
basically, the one
Mhm.
chance. Okay, okay. There's the thing is that the with Pauli Murray and Eleanor Roosevelt and now and all this kind of stuff when they formed it, right? They integrated sex or feminism into the civil rights struggle, which it had no
Yep.
business being, and
The
basically
poison
most.
pill.
Yeah, the poison pill. So basically, and basically, the Congress said the same thing. This has no business being in here, but they interjected into there, right? And then so that pretty much meant black men were going to get nothing out of it. Okay, and then the only reason that we got something out of it is because of uh, the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King, right? And the
Mhm,
like
mhm.
40 riots that came out of that during that year,
Yep,
right?
yep, yep.
So they sent the Kerner Commission in to find out, okay, how can we keep these cities from going up in flames behind these black folks, right? And so all the affirmative action stuff that you got that black men got didn't come out of the civil rights movement, came out of the Kerner Commission.
Yep, yep.
And that's why we
Yeah,
got it. And that was then basically they started eating away at that, man. By the time the 80s came around, they started eating away at that, you know. And white
so
women
enough.
got
The
the
skeleton.
bulk. And white women got the bulk of that anyway. All the
Yep.
affirmative action, white women got the bulk of it. Gucci
Gucci
boots,
footed boots.
yeah,
Yep.
Gucci footed boots over the line of oppression, right? Yep.
And me says continuing in a direction for an outcome, even if it is likely to kill or at least severely harm you, is the epitome of petulant. That's why I tell. That's why I say petulant children. That's why
Mm,
they. That's why I say that they are throwing temper tantrums. They're being petulant children. That's exactly why I say it, Meech. It's. I want. It's not fair. Why can't she? Why can't you? Why can't I? Like man,
that's why
please.
that's when passport bros started going abroad in mass. Okay, I wanted them to record their experience because I wanted black women, black men especially, to see. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
what black women
Mm-hmm.
say about us is not true
Yeah.
because
Well,
our experiences we only go by what America and black women say about us. But things when we go
yes.
abroad, they said, okay, we have a different experience with these guys.
That yep, 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 yep. Well, the anti-black propaganda, global, yeah, but is it America? Is it no? And so black men have a better shake than what is provided in America, even by black women,
Yeah,
right? So and black women, I think some of that is them gaslighting us, and they're really afraid, but they're trying to play stoic, and the rest is they don't really actually appreciate the way you view black men. Non-black
mm,
women don't
mm,
view black men that way, so
right,
you have contempt for black men. These non-black women in other spaces, even
yeah,
African sisters, may not have
yeah.
that same contempt.
Yeah,
And what does that mean for you?
and the Latinas, that's how come the Latinas love black men is because they get a
Yeah,
different experience.
they have a different experience. and
Mm,
and to be frank with you, you can't make up for black men leaving with anything in America. And if you
yeah,
step out, if you try to imitate black men leaving, then you're probably gonna have to pay
yeah,
out.
yeah.
If you don't end up with a dude from Western Europe, Japan, Korea, maybe a couple of elites in South America or Africa, That's a handful. Then you gonna have to pay. Every other place on planet Earth don't come nowhere near when it comes to income, wealth, etc. for the masses of people. So
I,
outside of Western Europe and pretty much a handful of other places, have fun. You paying.
I don't see Chinese men and Asian men recruiting African American women to come over to be wives.
This is what I'm saying.
They don't.
To get one, you gonna have to pay,
To get one, you're gonna have to pay. Yeah,
and that's even if they're open to that.
yeah,
That's assuming they're open to be bought.
yeah. And a lot of them, what they're finding out, especially unless the African man has been acculturated here, okay,
Yeah,
in the American system. He had some kind of acculturation in the American system. They go over there, man. Basically, yeah, it's a
yeah,
different
yeah.
experience.
You
And
might catch the people's elbow talking crazy to one of these dudes.
or you might be silently deleted, by
Oh,
some of
it's,
these
you know,
cats.
hey, that's happened in Africa to some sisters.
Yeah, yeah.
That's actually happened.
In Ghana,
Yeah.
yeah, there was like Gambia, there was like six of them. I think Ghana's like four or five of them. Yeah,
See, hey,
yeah.
these other dudes in other places are not used to being loud talking, neck rolling, and all type of insults and
Yeah, yeah.
little dick this and that. They're not used to that.
And
So
then and the sisters over there that are successfully married are trying to
mhm,
counsel these sisters. You can't bring that stuff over here. Okay, you
yeah.
can't be African American female over here. You're gonna have to change the way you do things. And
Mhm.
black men have said if you can change for him, you can change for us too.
Yeah. The clip of the I want to say she was a lighter skinned sister and she was in the Caribbean and she was telling the dude on the boat, eat some pussy. Da,
Oh
da,
yeah,
da." And I'm
yeah.
like, bitch, do you know where you are? Are you trying to get murked? Look, BGS, look,
Hmm.
as a Caribbean descent dude,
Hmm.
yeah, you might meet some guys and they're used to their women talking to them crazy. But you gambling, that's a flip of a coin right there. Because the
Hmm.
other ones on the islands ain't with it.
Was Latin America, all that, the whole schmeal.
Yeah,
Uh, you just may be able to get away with that in China because Chinese women are aggressive. Okay,
yeah.
a little bit more aggressive, but for the most part, no. Okay, no, you're going to get backhanded, and maybe the Jewish community. I think that's another one because a lot of the Russian
Yeah.
Jews said
Hmm.
um, how they can actually adapt to black men. Okay, because they don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, yeah. Hey,
Now,
uh,
it's
you
because
can't make up for it.
you
You
can't make
can't
up for.
make up for black men. You can't make up for black men leaving it because number one, unless you're paying it, I still don't think you can make up for it, right? And other men, they're just not socialized to deal with women who move the way black women in America move. They're not.
Yeah,
They're not. They're not.
that's what I said when marriage gets into the teens. Okay, they're making it a collective problem. Okay. That's
Um,
what I don't like about that's what I hate about pro blacks. Identify what the problem is, okay, and they refuse to identify what the problem is. It's a collective thing. It's both of us. No, it's not both of us.
the stream that you covered a couple of days ago, the young lady with the blonde hair, I think she was towards the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, yeah,
Her
yeah,
name was Athena.
yeah,
Um, when she said the 16% thing, and I did a stream about it, and I was like, and the problem is what? If black women are not getting on black men's program, why shouldn't your marriage rate be 16% or the
yeah,
black marriage rate be 16%? What
yeah,
what's the problem here?
yeah,
You're
yeah.
not getting on black men's program, and yeah, and by the way, Athena, she's been on Circus Ray. I've seen her multiple times. She always sound out snarky. She always sounds that the way you heard her, she always sound like that.
Okay, that
Just a little
yeah,
snarky, sassy asshole.
yeah,
And
yeah.
last time, oh yeah, last time I checked, she don't have any children, BGS, by the way. So
Oh, okay.
last time I checked, I'm not. Yeah, I'm
Thank God.
I'm about like 90% sure about that. I'm like 90% sure
was
of
she
it.
was
Yeah,
she
yeah.
ever married?
Not that I remember. No,
Okay.
nope,
Thank God.
nope. Yeah. Well, once again, you not being married is evidence of something. You could say it's evidence that black men ain't ish. Well, go get a ring from a non-black man then, right? So, like, once again, if you sound like her, you're childless, you haven't been married. Shouldn't that tell you something?
Yeah,
You think that's all black men? Well, then go marry the non-black man then.
I mean the black divorce rate is almost 80%. Okay.
Yeah. And that's for the few black men people that do get
Do get
married.
married. Yeah, almost 80%. And the average length of black marriage is 5 years or less. Come on,
Yes. Mhm. And
you
that
know.
says something. Yo,
That's,
shout out to all the people that want to blame black men for that. Put the onus on black men. All
yeah,
right.
Yeah, it basically, if it wasn't, whole society was not against black men marrying out, they marry out.
Yeah,
I mean, the
yeah,
whole and the sisters push it. They want the whole society, hell, the whole international society putting black men
mhm,
back in a box.
yeah. Well, yeah, because black women, the clip you play all the time, I got nowhere else to go. Their
Yeah.
ego and their pride won't let them say that out loud just like that. If
Hmm.
black men leave, we got nowhere else to go. So what they attempt to do, because this is ego protection, can we get everyone else to block them from entering their community or dating
Yeah.
their women or marrying their women?
Yeah.
Right. That way we could still play like we have options and choices. We could still be disrespectful and mean, and these Negroes don't got nowhere to go. They're
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
trying to trap us in there with their Tasmanian devil having asses. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. With even with the young lady that was over there in Kenya talking to a Kenyan man about black women and African men, first thing she
Mhm.
brings up is passport bros.
Mhm.
So
And she's
what?
Kenyan?
No, no, she's American. She's
Oh, okay,
American.
okay, okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
American woman going in Africa and settled in Kenya,
Hmm.
and she's trying to date in Kenya. And she asked, do African men or Kenyan men want African American women? He was trying to tell her why most of them don't.
Hmm.
And then she said, "What do you think about the passport bros?" It's like, what do we have to do with this?
She's compare and contrast. It's not the same. It's not the same. Let's be very clear, dear black women. It's not the same. It's something I covered this a couple years ago. With the Grinch stole Christmas thing. Black women are trying to make it a one for one. It's not the same.
Yeah.
You can't move overseas the way we can move overseas.
Hmm.
It's not fair. Oh well. It's not the same.
It's not the
If
same.
passport bros, the stereotype about them, what people think about them is different, quite frankly. And people expect men to spend money. People
Yes.
expect men to.
Yeah.
You don't want to spend.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They said, okay, this is a. I mean, the guys know you go to the bars and you go in certain sections. Yeah, I mean, it's pay to play. Okay,
Yep.
in some shape, form, or fashion, they already know
Mhm.
that. Well, they're naive. They think they're going over there and they're paying and they're going to get love. No, they don't.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
Mm-mm.
they don't. Okay.
Even for the men who are looking for wives overseas,
Mm,
it's a different type of pay to play, but it's still we appreciate this as men. Period.
mm.
Ladies,
Yeah,
not so much.
if I can get you to smile for me and service me and be the kind of wife I want to be, and I have to assume all the bills, okay,
Yeah.
okay, for 10 cents on the dollar, I can do that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, well, and that, I think it's the way femininity is constructed in general, particularly in the West, particularly in America. Chris Rock said it: opening their wallet, opening their pocketbook, just drives the vagina right on up. Especially
Hmm.
if it's not Chad or Tyrone that they
Hmm.
spit it on, and
Or
it dried up for them too. So
or Pookie, okay,
yeah,
where I'm paying because I'm lonely, and I know I'm paying because I'm lonely,
yeah.
and
Oh, that
a lot
must
of
be some of the most depressing thing in the world.
uh they it it is and it isn't. Okay, which is worse,
Mm,
being in a house by yourself with no man and no comfort because he's serving you. Okay, what do you want? And you
mm,
have to buy it. You know, it can't be depressing. You already know because you've been out there. Because uh, uh, Kristen Q used to get on me all the time because she used to stop me from
mm,
doing it, right? Because chick would get on and she say what she is and how she ranks and what she deserves. I said, okay, and I always go back to said, okay, baby. I said, when did you put on tight clothes and walk to the store? What age were you? And they said about
mm.
12. I said, you knew where you ranked when you were 12 years old. Stop. And
So
can you, and Crimson Q said, he said, BGS, you can't do that. Don't do that. She used to
mm,
stop me because you're gonna crush her.
yeah. So in other words, I going back to what we say, I can't deal with a reality that
Yes,
doesn't
lie to
edify
me,
me.
lie to me.
Yeah.
You know, you have
So
to
this is
lie
where
to me.
Ed comes in with the lot of me economy.
You lie to me
The lot of
economy,
me economy. Yeah.
which is why they can't. That's why I say that's like when the woman said Kevin Samuels was a fraud. And
Yeah.
in other words, I mean, I could have played other clips where she said that. The beauty's in the eye of the beholder, and just because I'm not a 10 in your eyes, I'm a 10 and somebody else is 9. I says, no, baby, it's not the way it works. In other words, I don't deserve an 8, 9, or 10, and I had to settle for a 4, 5, or 6. And I
That's
know
the problem.
that's the problem. They don't
That's the
understand.
problem.
They think that just because a black man settles for a 4 or a 5 or even a 6, right? And that means he thinks that she's a 10. No, he doesn't. He knows she's
No.
not a 10.
But and that well, so the difference between us and them is
Mm.
you could take your 4 ass wife and treat her like a queen, and
Yes.
I don't know how often and how much they can do that.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, look at these people's outcomes. I'm
Hmm.
gonna be very good. And I think one of the guys said it. If you're not meeting this guy on his way up,
Hmm.
you ain't gonna get him.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna have to pay. You don't got it. So let's be
Yeah.
honest. You're not gonna get him. You're not gonna
Yeah.
get him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you are a and when we it's not just looks. If you are a 4 in looks, in comportment, in pedigree, in status, what and you're waiting at the finish line,
If you're
eh,
would Oprah pick a heavy set balding dude?
no,
She
no,
wouldn't. Okay.
no,
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense
at
for
all.
women to do it. Okay. If you got a ton of money, why would you pick somebody that doesn't look the part?
And there you go. The watching her the one that was going back and forth about
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Samuels.
Mm-hmm.
This was the reaction, the way she sounded. I refuse to accept
Mm-hmm.
his framing of man woman dynamics. But ma'am, how does it reflect on your life?
Mm-hmm.
Have your experiences shown you extra average women, even a little bit above extra average women at age, getting the high six-figure man to marry them, not have sex with them, not even accidentally get them pregnant, marry them?
Mm-hmm.
And we're not talking about one or two, not this outlier crap. Well, I know this one person, or my sister cousin's friend knows this one person. Nope, 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 nope. In significant number, this is not a thing. This is not a
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
These are weird. These are people are weird. I, I,
Yeah.
I watched that. I watched her go back and forth. I saw that, and even the other light skinned sister tried to explain it to her, and I still
Uh,
didn't even agree with her framing, and she still was refused to accept it.
yeah, she should. Yeah, basically, In other words, I know what you're saying, and I kind of low key agree with you, but I don't see it in real life.
No. Hey, okay. If you once again petulant child, if you're throwing a temper tantrum and you refuse to accept what this is, life gonna make you accept it. You don't have to accept what I'm saying. Life gonna
I,
make you accept
I
it.
mean, you can think you can fly, but you jump off the cliff, gravity's gonna is gonna teach
Gravity
you.
got something else to say.
Say something about it. Yeah, yeah. I think you got a super chat.
Yep, yep. And Southern Purchase says, BJS, can you explain the difference between your mom's age and your daughter's age group in attitude towards men? Big difference, similar, or the same?
Big
And thank you
difference.
for the
So,
super chat.
okay, big difference. Basically, and this is something that Pimp Guy taught me a long time ago, right? She ain't married to you; she married to the game. Okay. I learned this from my mother, my aunt, and my other aunts, right? They were come from a silent generation, okay? Is that the game is being married for life. Marriage, the sanctity of marriage and being married to that one man and devoting yourself to the marriage, not the man, to the marriage was more important, okay? So it was. I would feel shamed if I divorced my husband because marriage is. They believe that marriage is for life, right? But they taught their daughters don't get caught up in this game. Pick a
Yeah.
different game. Pick a different outlook, right? And so my sisters didn't cotton to that. Okay,
Mm.
the very next generation, the boomers, okay, they were taught that you don't have to live this reality.
Yeah.
Okay, so people blame it on the boomers. The boomers changed something. No, boomers were taught by the silent generation that in the World War II generation that that my experience doesn't have to be yours. And I am trapped. I'm trapped in my time. Okay, in my how I was raised. Okay, so I'm trapped in this. But the thing is, you're not bound to that. I'm teaching that you don't have to be bound to that, right? So the boomer women started to look at marriage differently, right? That's how come no fault
Hmm.
divorce came up, okay? You can get out of this. You don't have to be married. You don't have to be tied to him for life, okay? Marriage is meant to fulfill a certain duties, and then it was raising kids for the
Edify
boomers,
you and fulfill you.
fulfill you, and then it just started to degrade from there.
Mm.
So now, by the time you get to my daughter, um, marriage is just symbolic for the most part.
Yep.
It's
But
not.
but
It's not even
in
real.
reality, it's actually not. If
Yeah.
you follow who's getting married and staying married, it's actually not, and that's
Yeah.
where Frasier comes in.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's exactly where Frasier comes in.
Yeah, yeah, but the thing is, you're trying to basically you're trying to replicate what we did back in the prior to 1960, without
Mm.
replicating the
The
environment,
dynamics
the
in that
dynamics
environment,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. So basically, you're saying we should just do it because it's the right thing to do. And men are saying, in other words, men are saying, why should I invest all this time, all this money, all this effort in something that's going to be within 5 to 10 years is going to crumble. So
Yes.
basically, yeah, men are saying I need my escape card, just like everybody else.
And Rogus says it the best to me. Rogus says, "These hoes belong to the mainframe, dog."
They
Like,
do. They always have. They always belong to the mainframe. They
yeah,
always have. They always have. They don't belong to you.
you,
And
you men belong to the mainframe.
marriage is a society, a societal system. It's not an individual thing. Okay. Yeah. And the thing is, and that's why I said you have to look at your return on investment. Okay.
Yes.
And when I was coming up, man, basically I knew, man, dealing with women after dealing with a few of them, I said, okay, you got to have your parachute ready.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You just have to. I mean, regardless how sweet that woman is, you got to have your parachute ready. And
Well,
so,
you
so
see this with
when it's time to bail, you can't be upset. You just got to bail.
you see this, and I'm gonna end out a little bit, BJS. But you see
Hmm.
this with and let me know what you think about this before we end out. You see this
Hmm.
with Dr. Richard Reeves, right?
Hmm.
Where he's in a weird way. I think he's like trying to figure out the right framing and
Hmm.
words to use
Hmm.
to get men in general, not just black men, to participate, knowing that there's no guarantee. Like like she might torpedo it, but we might need you to do this anyway. We
Hmm.
might need you to still up to. We can't just have the top 20% of men and 80% of women lift in the sky. We need you men who the not the undesirables, the not the elite
Deplorable.
men. We still need, yeah, we still need y'all to lift, right? But there's no. She's probably gonna destroy that relationship or that marriage. and
Okay.
and, and I'm watching Dr. Richard Reeves try to incentivize the men not to give up on the game. He mentioned MGTOW, and he said, that's kind of he didn't, that wasn't his words. What was his? He said MGTOW, but he said he doesn't accept that, and that you're not supposed to pull back, right? Pull away. That's not manly. And I'm like, Dr. Richard Reed, stop it. Stop it. You don't got
Yeah.
the incentives. You know the women gonna destroy it for the average man, and the average man know it. You're trying to find a way or terms or words to still have these young men
Yeah.
participate in a rigged game that they realize young now is rigged.
That's why patriarchy was so strong and solid in Europe,
Mhm.
right? It's because men got guarantees. Okay, if I'm
Yes.
going to put in this effort and build this and sacrifice this, I'm guaranteed to get something out of it. Okay, when you
Yeah.
took that away, then it started to erode. Okay, when you start
Yeah.
taking the kids away and you had to pay the money, it's going to erode. It didn't collapse, but it started to erode. And even white marriages are starting to erode the same way.
And Saint Cyr says, I'm saying exactly what your girls say. He talking about Yanni. I'm saying exactly what your girls say. What's the
What
incentive?
what's the
Exactly. That's
incentive?
what men are
Exactly.
saying.
Yeah.
That's exactly what men are
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. What's the incentive? Yeah, and we're not. And basically, I have not seen a group of men clamor to get married that they really wanted to find wives. They'll say it. They'll say if I want to get married, I've got to go overseas. I can't do it here. But I have
Mm-hmm,
not seen a group of men of any color uh,
mm-hmm.
got it in social media and demanded a change and demanded society do something because they want to be married.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. In fact, they're the other way. They're okay. Give me my PS5, give me my Xbox, give me my Forza, give me my Call
Mm-hmm.
of Duty, and I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, well, when I did my single thing, my cell BC thing, that's BGS. When I say I was so chill,
Mm-hmm.
it actually was scaring my parents a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like, wait a minute, you ain't, what's going on? Wait a minute. I'm like, bro, I'm, and it is one of those like, okay, I had a couple of setbacks. Let me
Mm-hmm.
get my life together. Let me get my
Yeah.
finances together, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
But even when I started to get more stable, there
Mm-hmm.
was no, I didn't have any type of eagerness to get back out there.
Hmm.
And it was frightening to them. I'm like, yeah, because y'all don't really understand what's out here now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
This is not 30 some odd years ago when y'all
yeah,
got together, right? Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and me, man, we know with my elitist ass, man,
Mhm.
basically, bitch, you got to pay for me, okay? What I bring to the
BGS,
table.
when I tell you it's a lot, you stuff you already know. A lot of women friend like they smarter than they actually are.
I
A
know.
lot of them, they don't have the money to buy you anyway or to pay
Mm,
for you
mm,
anyway,
mm, mm-hmm,
right? They don't, so you have a lot of like pump fakers like that. They fake it
mm-hmm,
like they're not of the pedigree or the status they portray.
yeah,
For those of them that are, they
yeah,
don't have the money per
yeah,
se,
yep,
right? Like they have the name. In other words, they have the pedigree, but not the money to go
mm-hmm,
with it.
mm-hmm,
A lot of them are what's really going. This is really the dating scene. A bunch of women that's I ish financially
mm-hmm,
looking for a come up for their status. So they
okay,
might have the degree, they might have the middle management title,
mm-hmm,
but the income isn't given what it's supposed to give, and so they're looking for the man to supplement that,
yeah,
but
but
they don't
think,
have the ovaries to say it.
and they don't have the pedigree either because just
Yeah.
because you have an education and middle management status, you weren't brought up in the upper middle class family. You don't have
Well,
the
that too.
pedgree to give to the kids, okay?
Yep.
You
Yep.
you've
Yep.
been you've been school booked, okay, which is fine. The thing is, you have no idea how to run an upper middle class household.
No, absolutely not.
So I'm
Don't
so
know.
it's yeah.
Don't
Go
know
ahead.
anything about that.
So
No,
so
no,
in
they
other
don't know
words,
anything about that.
they
Go
don't
ahead.
know
I'm
anything
sorry.
about that. So but in other words, so your title and your education mean nothing is because when I get you in a household and have you try to run things to bring up upper middle class kids, you have no clue. Okay, you're lost
Yeah.
because you're gonna revert back to what your mama taught you, and she didn't teach you anything.
Not in that. Not in that manner.
Yeah,
Not
because
yeah.
trust and believe, because I've had this where, okay, I got this degree, I got this education, but I still want to slap dominoes on the weekend, okay?
We are still rest in peace, Tupac Shakur.
Mm-hmm.
BGS. We are still living with the Tupac Shakuring of Xers, millennials, and Gen Z. And Gen Z was even here for him. But
Mm-hmm.
we're still the idea that your man is a sophisticated thug. We are
Uh,
still, and I'm not saying Pac was that. We know the real Pac, but I'm
yeah.
saying that imagery. Oh yeah, we still living. We still living with that.
Okay, it's a couple things, okay? One, the crack era came out and decimated the lifestyle. And two,
Mhm.
Bill Clinton, to get rid of welfare, pushed a lot of women that shouldn't have never been into getting degrees or into academia, okay?
Mhm.
Should never been there. Okay, they should be working class women staying in their lane. But the thing is, because of the federal government and them opening up the college system to these women, so
Mhm.
a lot of lower class women got pushed into academia. Okay, and now they come out with their idea that because I'm in academia now I'm an upper class woman. No, you're not. Okay, basically you're a middle class, you're a working class woman with a degree.
Yeah.
And now you try to step to upper class men that have been raised that way. It doesn't work.
Saint Cyr says it here. He says, now they want King Von, a pure crash out. They want that super. They want 50. They want the super street dude in a suit. And sometimes they don't even want the super street dude. They're perfectly okay with being corporate and square with the street guy, especially if he doesn't bring the drama to the door, like literally to the door.
Hmm.
He can have the blood on him when he walk in the door, but as long as he don't bring the drama to the door, oh yeah, she turned on. Well, that
Okay.
penny's wet, wet.
Okay. Well, that's the whole thing, and I agree with them. You should have what you want. Okay.
Mhm.
And, well, I'm tired of brothers trying to bend to what they want. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
My
yeah.
thing, if she want Tupac with a suit, God bless her. Okay. God bless. Admit that's what you want. I want a thug.
Mhm.
That's what I hated about earlier on in this iteration when I came to the manosphere, right?
Mhm.
You're pissed off because a lower level woman wants a lower level man, and you're pissed off. Why do you want her? You're trying to convince her about what she wants, how she was raised.
Women are not the only one that's not using logic sometimes. BGS, you
Yeah,
know this.
yeah. That's a Kevin. You need to polish these guys up, okay?
Mm. Hey,
Because
why
that's
can
that.
I revenge pipe Keisha that turned me down in high school and that thought I was a dweeb? I'm trying to pipe Keisha. I want big booty Keisha too. I may not want to
Okay.
marry her, but I definitely want a revenge pipe because she ignored me in high school these years.
Okay. Well, then okay. Then if you want big booty Keisha that like thugs, you have to become what she wants.
Yeah. But I don't want to stay there. I just want to have fun and get my revenge pipe and then go.
And then okay, that's fine. I said I have no problem with it, but don't come here and complain about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's really what it is. That's really what it is. It's men and women. I would say women more with and Trail said it the best. Like was it high school reunion fantasies of flexing, right?
Hmm.
It really is that. So the dude that may not have been getting all the looks in high school really wanted to get the get back, but the
Okay.
women, oh BGS, the women that wasn't getting the looks and the attention in high school, they
Hmm.
dream of. I've had multiple conversations,
Hmm.
primarily with like urbanized women, black, Latina, some white women, but
Hmm.
they fantasize so much about flexing on the people they felt looked down on them
Okay.
or
Yes.
overlooked them.
Okay.
It's the fan. I think they damn near orgasm just thinking about it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, if you were the ugly duckling in high school, okay, in earlier years, then you become the beautiful swan. Go back and flex, but you got to
yeah,
become the swan. Are you? But are you the swan? And a lot of these chicks aren't the swans. Okay, chick,
yeah.
you're still the four that you were in high school.
You just got a degree now and a
You just
baby
got a
Benz.
degree, yeah, and a baby Benz. Okay, and step out and step in because back in the day, if you got a degree in a baby Benz and you push open the door, okay, I know you pushed up the door because your baby Benz, okay, but where's the rest of it? Where's the wallet to go along with the baby Benz?
I gotta read this. And I am awful says these 304s trying to live out their Zane novel fantasies. Zane is like this series of like
Hmm.
sex books that
Yeah.
women were reading.
Hmm.
Girls in my high school were reading the Zane series books.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Hmm.
and yeah, no, I agree with that. Thank you for that super chat.
And,
I'm waffles. You're right. You're
and
right.
and God bless them. Okay,
Mm,
if you want to live them out, but don't come complaining to us because that you can't effectuate it. That's your problem. That's a you
yeah,
problem.
yeah. No,
That's
this is
what
true.
the reason, like homeboy was trying to say. The reason that you didn't make the New Jersey cheerleaders or the New
You
York
saw how
cheerleaders,
she tried to avoid that. She
yeah,
played so dumb because,
yeah,
and you said it right. She knew where that questioning was gonna go.
yeah.
I having conversations with these people drive me crazy. That's the part y'all know.
Mm.
Mr. Z is a glutton for punishment. I'm a masochist. But
Yeah, you
once
are.
you start playing dumb
Yeah,
with that, because we and I would have called her out on it simply,
he
right?
did. He called her out on it.
Right.
Yeah,
So she once she saw where that line of questioning was gonna go, all of a
mm,
sudden she's acting dumb now.
yeah, yeah. Because you're gonna lose the argument.
I wouldn't go out for it anyway. It don't excuse me. It don't interest me anyway, lady. That's not the point.
It's
You
it's
know
ca-
it. Stop.
it's called sour grapes. Okay. So
Yeah.
in other words, okay, if your theory is correct, okay,
Mhm.
what kind of man do you want, and how effective have you been with your theory? Because that's what
Yep.
Feynman said. Doesn't matter how good the math is. Doesn't good how good your theory is. If it
Mhm.
doesn't jive with the experiment, it's wrong.
Yes. Yeah.
If it doesn't, you know me, man. I'm a total believer in that. If I can't, and I don't care how good my theory is, if I can't find out that where it actually exists in real life, in reality,
You got to
I,
replicate it. You
I,
got to
I,
do it.
I don't, I tell you, I have an idea. It's an idea. It's
Hmm.
not even a theory. Okay,
Hmm.
it's because I can't show you where an instance of it any place in the world. Right? When I come up with something, when I come up with something, I got examples up the wazoo.
Yeah. 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 Well, this is why I separate thinking from feeling.
Hmm.
This is why I separate thinking from feeling. I can say I feel something. Okay, when we were speaking, and I was telling you I think Tim Walz, or I felt Tim Walz was an answer to JD Vance.
Hmm.
Remember the words I was using.
Yeah.
I was saying, I think the Democrats put their finger to the wind. They see who JD Vance is, and they want to present a different form of masculinity. And that's where Tim Walls come in. And I was very explicit. I feel this way
Hmm.
because of this, this, and this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But it was still a feeling
It was
because
a
it wasn't
feeling.
concrete. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was. Yeah. And we see how that aged.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he lost anyway. So I think that was men's repudiation in many ways of yeah, nah. First of all, they were in the top of the ticket anyway. But yeah, I was like, get out of here. That weirdo give and take nothing type of masculinity.
mm
Get out.
mm
Yeah, that
mm.
sound nice. Yeah, I bet you feminists would love that.
Yeah, I
Nope.
mean, if you can convince men to take the deal, hey, I got no problem with it. But are they
Yeah,
taking the
man.
deal?
No,
No, they're
no.
not.
And be just if you don't mind reading this, because it is
Okay,
directed towards you, and you could go
is
in your final
uh,
comment after this.
okay,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
go ahead.
Thanks for
Mhm.
the answer. More. Why don't women? Why don't the women that failed with that advice not advise their grand or great granddaughters otherwise?
Oh yeah, the
Uh,
Xer women and the Boomer women that failed with the advice that came from the silent
y-
generation. Why
y-
don't
y- uh,
they advise better?
they,
Yeah.
what they're doing is, I see this with my mother, right? Because she's trying to, and now they see what they've initiated. Now they're trying to rein these chicks in. Okay, because
At what age though? Jesus
huh?
Christ.
My my
At
oh,
what
my
age?
my mother's in her 80s. Okay, and her granddaughter's in her 30s, right? And she tells you, you have to be a different way. You're gonna have to find a man. Okay, pretty's not gonna last forever. Yada 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 yada. Right? Basically, my daughter's in her mid 30s. Okay, and I teach my daughter all the time. I said, you got pretty girl problems. Okay, you always think there's gonna be another man. Okay, and that's a pretty girl problem, which is why that's gonna play out. I said, what you gonna do? You know, what you gonna do? And see a lot of this,
Mm,
like a Cheyenne
yep.
Bryant, okay? It's a pretty
Yep.
girl problem, okay? Now you're in your 40s, and basically there is no more road for the can to be kicked. Now what?
Well, Cheyenne Bryan is still stubborn as hell. That's what we saw with that with her conversation with Cam Newton was
Mm,
her still trying to play the game. It's outside of I don't even think Cam Newton really fell for it like that. But
mm-hmm,
especially for those of us on screen, ain't nobody trying to do nothing with you, lady. Man, move
mm-hmm.
on. Go munch
Yeah,
on another woman or something. I don't know.
you moved from football to handball, okay? All you're doing is hitting the ball up against the wall and it's bouncing back at you. That's all it's doing right now.
Yeah. Well,
There,
well,
there, there is no, there is no road, there is no field, okay? Basically, all there is a wall that you keep hitting.
well. If this is what makes you sleep better at night, is your feeling of that you made a choice to be single, then so be it.
Yeah, yeah, I had no problem
And
with that.
in a way, you did make a choice to be single. That's why them brothers have that title, single by choices. You made choices that led you up to here to be single.
And a lot of young men are picking that. I'd rather be, and all over the world. It's not just here. That's why I showed the Chinese guys all over the world. Rather than put up with this with a snarky, entitled chick that I have to that's going to weigh me down, I have more fun, have more enjoyable life being single. Okay, without women, without her, without a family, and that's what society's afraid of. That more men will choose this path. Because having a family, having a woman is not, that's how come I went monk. Having a woman is not easy, okay? And if you spend time without one and have to go back into a relationship, you realize that having a woman is not easy, okay? There's a responsibility to her
Uh,
and
uh,
for her that you have to carry.
mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
So I'm not even married yet, and
Hmm.
I was saying this to Black Guru. I feel the provider anxiety now.
Yes.
I feel it now. It's on my show. I can feel that now, right? Yeah. And so when you think about, oh yeah, lifetime. By the way, player, lifetime,
Hmm.
right? This ain't no little two month experiment, no 5 year experiment. This is
No.
supposed to last a
Yeah.
lifetime. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and basically, that's what that's why I play happy wife every now and then. Women expect you to in other words, my happiness and my life experience and all the experience I feel inside this marriage is supposed to be provided by you. And you lie to that cracker, and he gets the best of you. Okay, he gets the best of you. I
Yeah.
want that. Okay, you know,
Yeah.
give him the minimum and give me the best. I want you to perform for me like you perform for him.
I don't know if I have a problem. Like I said, I don't know if I have a problem with a black woman saying that, but we both gonna be performing,
What the thing is,
and that's where they fell.
what is okay? What if you want me to? He pays me. What are you gonna do?
See, that's what I'm saying. But they're gonna. This is where they're gonna fail. She ain't paying you nothing. She
No,
ain't
no,
even gonna
no.
pay you in the smiles.
Oh no. Basically, Pookie, no, that's why I say, see, people don't understand Pookie. People don't understand. I understand Pookie, because my brother-in-law was a Pookie for a second when he married
Hmm.
my sister. Okay, and I understand both sides of what she was getting, what he was giving. I understood. Okay, because trust and believe, before she married him, he was driving her car while she was at work, just like Baby Boy.
Hmm.
He was Baby
Tyrese.
Boy. Yeah, Tyrese. He was driving her car. Okay,
Hmm.
while she was at work. She was at work. She got a new car and he was driving it around and stuff like that. It's because of stuff that he was giving her when she got home. Okay, he
Yes.
served her
Yep.
emotionally, physically. He did all the kind of stuff that she wanted him to do. Okay, and how did she pay him? She paid him with lodging. Okay,
Hmm.
he paid him
And driving
with
and driving her car.
driving the car. Okay, that was payment. Okay. And believe it or not, that's like most black women want you to move in with them. That's why. This is
Eh,
payment for your service.
no,
It's payment for your
no.
performance. And you don't perform, then I want to fire you.
Yeah. Well, if you are so hell bent on this type of power dynamic,
Mm.
you got to beat those dudes that sign up for that. And I would argue that even Pookie is less likely to sign up for that than yesteryear. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it depends. Well, that's the Pookie. The Pookie economy is different, right? That's like a Pookie has rotation. Okay.
Mm.
When
Get kicked out here, go over there.
well,
Go over there.
he's already got it, and 9 times out of 10, the chick that kicks him out know where he's going next.
Wow. Yeah.
And when the when by the time it gets to the third iteration of chicks, and the chick gets lonely, she know where to come pick him up at. Okay, ain't
Mm.
you tired of her yet? Yeah, I'm tired of her. Well, come on over here.
I couldn't do it.
Well, you're not a
I
Pookie.
couldn't.
That's why you're
Yeah.
not Pookie.
Is that it just thinking about it right now, that type of power over me makes me uneasy just thinking about it.
It
Just
does. It does. It does.
ah
That's how come I could never take the deal. Okay,
yeah.
I could
It's
never take
different.
the
You
deal.
have a wife type of situation. Okay, she sideswipe you with the divorce or whatever the hell. There's a whole different thing, moving in with her. Okay, problem number one, eating the attitude. Problem number two, maybe physical assault. Problem number three, verbal, definitely verbal
I, I,
issues. Problem number, yeah.
the thing is, maybe and that's what some things, some reason women, sometimes couldn't understand me. I always look at
Mhm.
relationships as at will, if you know what I'm saying. Okay,
Yeah, yep, yep, yep.
and and basically, and I've had girlfriends say that shit. I could have a different man. And you know what, baby? I said it is what it is, right? If you're happier with another man, please go find him. Okay. I know this is at will. I know that at some point, if you're gonna be unhappy with me, and you're perfectly welcome to go find another man that's gonna make you happy.
Hmm.
Okay, but don't do this. Don't do this shit behind my back. All this stabbing me, trying to ruin me while
Hmm.
you're at it. Okay, don't have to do all that. You want another man? Go get him. Okay, I told my fiance that. Okay, I need somebody to do this, and I was dating this kind of guy for baby. I tell you what, I'll go help you find him. That's what's gonna make you happy. So you
Yeah.
can be happy and you can let me go in peace.
Well, you strip women of plausible deniability when you start saying things like that.
Hmm.
You strip them of moving in the shadows, and you strip them of not admitting to themselves who they are.
Yeah,
I think that's
yeah.
one of
Uh,
the things about women is showing them they're ugly and stripping them of life is not happening to you.
it basically is to tell men, because I know men
Right.
hate when I do this. Okay, well, my girl is faithful and she only loves
Hmm.
me, and I got this. And man, I said, I know, I get you, I feel you, but I didn't seen it too many times. Okay, and
Yeah.
the thing is, this is at will, and you got to just hold out the possibility at some point that you are not going to be her cup of tea.
Yeah.
And you have to be okay with that, and you have to protect yourself emotionally, physically, and financially. Okay, at
Yes.
some point, hopefully it never happens. Okay, just like insurance, you hope that Mr. Z's car never gets a fender bender or scratch or wreck, or he has
Hmm.
to go in the shop, and you hope that, right? But the thing is,
Yes.
you have insurance just in case something happens. Okay, the unforeseeable happens. And
Yep.
that's what you hope it is unforeseeable. With black women, that's probably pretty common. Okay.
Hey. They fall for what 70 to 80. Well, actually, it's 80, closer to 80 for Black women. The
Hmm.
70 to 80 is women writ large in America. Yeah,
And their
so
divorce, the black female divorce rate is so high.
it's higher than their marriage rate.
It's higher than their marriage rate. I said, which absolutely makes no sense. I said, why do you guys want to get married in the first place? You know you're gonna get divorced.
Symbol,
Why you guys keep
status
pushing us
symbol.
and talking about that we need to marry you and
Oh,
make a family and stuff like that? You know you
for
don't
the
want to be under
same
man.
reason of this, BGS. What happened every time Kevin asked, rest in peace, Kevin, every time he asked these women whether they've been married or not, and the answer was no, what did they
I,
immediately say? As a matter of fact, they
but
didn't even
but
answer no yet. What did they say, BGS?
I was engaged.
Thank you.
Hmm.
It's the same thing. I can't lower my stock by saying no. I
Hmm.
have to say, but well, I've been engaged, I've been proposed to three times. Like, who asked
But
you that?
I turned down, and my
Yep.
thing is okay. So, proposal number one, why'd you turn him down?
Well, he wasn't on my level, and I realized something right before we got married, and all of that is ego protection.
Yeah,
All of that is ego
but you had a
protection.
baby by him,
Yeah.
so you had a baby for him, and he proposed. So why'd you
Hmm.
turn him down?
Yeah, there you go.
You know, I got to do that with my daughters. Okay, well, what are you doing? Okay, I don't accept it. They don't give me the excuses because I won't accept them. They know it. I said this is on you.
That ego protection is a mug like
Yeah,
hell.
yeah, 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 with my daughters, I'm brutal sometimes. Okay, they know that's how they don't want to talk to. They talk to we females in the family about it.
Hmm.
Don't talk to
Hmm.
me about it. I'm brutal. Okay,
Yeah.
I know what I taught you. I know how you're raised, and what you're saying to me is bullshit. You knew better.
Yeah.
So now go sell that to somebody else, and that's what they do.
I was thinking that when you said go sell that to somebody else, I was like, yeah,
Yeah,
you probably
yeah,
do
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. I used to have okay that saying, and it's just my final thought before I let you go. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I used to have a saying back when I was young. Right? Okay. I said, you know what? The manure salesman is down the street, right? He takes all that bullshit that you want to sell, and he pays you for it. Right? So go sell it to him, because I'm not buying it.
Mhm.
I don't sell fertilizer. Okay.
Hysterical. No, but it's true. It's hysterical. It's true, and I get it once, but I think that ties into what we're saying earlier, where people don't have these notions challenged. They don't have what they think, what they feel, what excuses or quote unquote reasons they have for whatever is going on. They don't have that challenged. Definitely not on a daily basis. So when they come into contact with someone who might be a bit more, or a bit less, better yet, accommodating of the
Mm.
BS,
Uh huh.
that's when we start dancing,
Yeah.
right? That's when we start dancing.
I make men uncomfortable by stuff that I
Yeah,
say. So.
yep, yep, yep.
So I know
You imagine when that,
women
yeah.
can tolerate. Yeah, uh, women don't tolerate. But the thing is, that's the whole reason for my women's channel, right? Is Kristen Kerrison said you have to basically you have to smooth over and bullshit women
Yeah,
for them to get to
yeah.
accept what you're saying, right? I said,
Well, because women live in the gray, right? They live in what's implied, suggested, inferred. That way, you could never pin me down on anything.
in other
You
words,
could never pin them down on nothing.
it's gray because a gray wall can be painted any color that you want, right?
There you go.
Okay, it
You
reflects
can't.
the color.
You.
It
Mm,
reflects the color that you broadcast on it, right? Okay.
well, well,
and
well.
I don't live in the gray. Okay, and I've started my whole women's channel to say, okay, I think women can, if you present the facts long enough, they can start making effective changes, not just something that's in their head, on the ground, effective changes, and make decisions to actually change their lives. And that's why I started. I was actually successful like 4 years. Okay,
Mm,
until and people hated the channel. And Kevin just took the whole concept, he smoothed it out and dressed it up and stuff like that. And he made, I didn't make the money that he made, but same concept. Okay, but the thing is, he's much nicer about it than I am.
he candy painted and put big rims on it.
Yeah, yeah, he did. He put the oud
Hmm.
cologne
Right.
and the lights and stuff like that, and it looked like a warm,
And they
accepting place.
they came like
And
a moth to the flames and got burnt,
ooh, I don't like
scorched,
him.
scorched, torched.
Torch.
Yeah. It was good watching, not the entertainment, not just the entertainment value, not the ha got you
Hmm.
value.
Hmm.
It was important to see the BS that y'all been telling each other in these hair salons, the
Hmm.
BS y'all been saying to each other
Hmm.
online for decades. having it actually put back to you like, did you just hear yourself? And
Mm,
actually having to go back because you know they were doing this. Go back and read through them comments from them brothers on the
mm-hmm.
when it was streaming live and see how they were responding to your
Mm-hmm.
dumb ass,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
no, it needed to be happen. And I listened to, was it Art Stream or AB Stream a couple nights ago, and I think Jules told you this, and Jules told you and Black Uru this. Um, the women aren't asking for 100 no more on Kendra G. Now they starting to do 60 and 70,000 type talk.
Yeah, because the thing is that okay, you put you put your theory out there. I disagree with that. I can't get 100. I know I can get 100. I'm gonna prove to you that I can go and get 100. Hit that brick wall again. Oh, okay. Well, maybe 100 is not attainable. Or it's
Hmm.
too hard. Let me try 60 or 70. Okay. And with
Hmm.
the economy going down, they see that people getting laid off. Okay. And the brothers are telling them no. They might be down to 30. Who knows?
30, 30, and be able be able to be erect.
Yeah, yeah, because
Pun intended.
because Congress, and I'm hoping that they won't take too big a knife to it. Congress in 2025 is getting ready to take a knife to these social services,
I think
big
so.
time. Yeah,
I
and
think
and
so.
in other words, we have a Republican president, okay, and it won't be
Hmm.
our fault if we take a knife to these social services. So
Yeah.
they're open to Democrats say okay, they can wash their hands of it, okay,
Yeah.
and do it at the same time.
Streamline.
Streamline it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna get gutted. Okay. So, I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Women are gonna have to have a come to Jesus moment in a minute. Okay.
Mr. Donnie Mac said $40.
Oh, 40. That's a little high. Okay. Ain't I say ain't no thing but a chicken wing. Okay.
Oh man, $40.
40. That's high, man.
Shout out to Corey Holcomb. I got my $40.
If you want this, you're gonna have to pay, baby, because I ain't got no money.
Oh man. Hey, that's the ooh, that
Go
world.
go home to your Rose toy if you don't want you ain't got no
Ooh,
money.
hey, that world. The world where men are not even paying for it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
that's
yeah.
the
Oh.
that's a different. Ooh, that's a
I've
different world.
been there. Yeah, been there.
And let me read this real quick. And Joe's, thank you for the super chat. He said Pookie dropped her off at work in her car. Yeah,
In her car.
yep,
Yeah.
that's
That's
the
that's
dynamic.
common. That's common,
That's
man.
the dynamic.
That's common. Yeah, I seen that. That's why I know. That's why I saw Baby Boy. I started laughing. I started laughing my ass off. I said that's my reality. Okay.
Man, Jake says I got $10 and half a sandwich.
Damn. Okay. Okay. And half a cent. Okay. That'll work. Yeah.
Hey, hey,
That gets
Joe's.
that'll get you a short time. Yeah.
Here's the thing, Joe's. It's not even a sandwich that you couldn't have. It's literally a half-eaten sandwich, right?
Are you hungry?
Right? He had a
Eh,
6-inch sub, and he bit half of
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he
And you know
picked
what?
up the
And
half.
I've seen chicks say, "You gonna eat that?"
Oh man, no, but you will.
Yeah.
But
No, 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 no. In other words, if you're not gonna eat that, I'll eat it.
right.
That's what they're saying.
I,
So,
I know, no, I know BGS. I was saying something else with it too, though.
you know, yeah,
You gotta appreciate the inner 12-year-old in me, BGS. You gotta appreciate the
baby.
inner
I mean, you do
12-year-old.
reckless streams. You see this crap all the time, man.
Look, but
So,
man, BGS, if you when I used to work nights, BGS, oh
mm-hmm,
boy, Jesus
oh
Christ,
yeah, yeah. The freaks come out
man,
at night. Yeah.
hey man, hey, uh, I ain't gonna implicate myself. I didn't do
No.
anything, but I'm not gonna implicate myself about
Yeah,
what I saw.
yeah,
Woo!
yeah, yeah, but you have run across
Yeah,
from time to time.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
Hmm.
exactly, exactly.
Hmm.
So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, no, yeah,
Oh
and
yeah.
let me read this real quick. Too watchful. Thank you for the super chat. He says BGS is petty tax. LOL.
Oh yeah. Been so.
Right.
When I first started here in 2015 on the Black Manosphere side, and women said you just like to bash women. I said, baby, I got my belt out all the time, and I do it twice on Sunday. So yes, I do. So
Right.
you can line up? You want some of this? Line up. I give you some too.
I don't know what they. Well, I know what it is. It's just provide, protect, and shut up type of dynamics. All of this come down to that. Just be here, pay, be erect when I need you to be erect, and yeah, and you don't get to flex nothing over here. I get it. I
My
get it.
job, my job over here is I said I'm over here to talk to men. My job is not to make you feel comfortable. If you want to feel
Yeah,
comfortable, go someplace else. Okay?
right.
You're gonna come over here. I'm gonna teach you and train you just like I train the men. I don't make them feel comfortable either. They can tell you. I had guys that have left, supposedly leave, right? I'm not going
Hmm.
to talk to you anymore, BGS. I don't want to deal with you, BGS. But then you still listen to every stream that I have.
Yeah,
Why is that?
the
Information.
information is
And
important.
they said
The
that.
perspective also, if they're gonna be honest with it.
They said, yeah, Young Grizzly said he hated me for like 2 or 3 years. He hated
Wait,
me.
who said that to you?
Young Grizzly. He's told me. He said I
Oh,
hated you
really?
for like
Oh,
two or
yeah,
three.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
See?
He said, and he said, but I said, how come you didn't leave? He said because information was too valuable. I had to come back.
Nope. And BJ, when I told you, see, remember, I was the one that was like, "Yeah, you've been here since 2015." You're like, "Wow, yeah." Because once I followed you, BJ, I was like, "Yeah, this. I'm subscribed. I'm listening."
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah, because the information is important, right? And I'm one of those people that I accept the perspective with the information, and if I disagree with the perspective, so
Mm-hmm.
be it.
So be it. Yeah.
Especially if I don't think it's coming from a place of malice or like some type of hidden agenda. That's why I can't rock with
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the white dudes. I know the difference between the white manosphere and the black manosphere. They're trying to reestablish some shit and using and getting the women in line first. I get it. So that's why I can't rock with the white dudes like that. Too tough.
Yeah.
But listening to you, BGS, listening to other brothers in this space, I might disagree with certain political views, maybe some social stuff, but once again, if I don't think it's coming from malice or whatever, I take the perspective with the information, and that's just what it is,
I mean, I
even when I
show you.
disagree with it.
I mean, me. I show you where the stuff comes from. Okay.
Hmm.
I don't just speak it. I show you where it comes from.
Yes.
Okay. And I say, come to your own conclusion. I don't tell you what to think. I never do. I never tell you what to think. I say, this is this is the reality on the ground. This is where it comes from. These are the people that are saying it, and these are not just street people. Okay, these are high officials saying the exact same thing that I'm saying. Okay, now come to your own conclusion. That's what the blue folks are mad about. Okay, your folks are saying it. I'm not saying it. Okay, your folks are saying the same thing I was saying. I'm just saying it out. I'm just saying out loud what they won't say.
Mm.
You in
If go
you
back
in
to
hell
your
right now.
clear,
Yes, you're in hell right now. I can hear you, Morgan.
yeah, yeah, I knew. Can you read?
Yeah, you're cutting in and out. Well, let me read a couple questions since you. Okay, I got that expensive copy of Black Ghetto, of Dark Ghetto on my shelf because of BG. Basically, if you look at Dark Ghetto, and Dr. Murphy said the same thing, right? The tangle pathology is a phenomenon that's spreading all across the globe. Okay, the same thing is happening. Is because as the environment changes, these kinds of things will follow. So I always, that's why I say feminism is not a cause; it's an effect, and that's why, with the help of Dr. Gigi, we trace this stuff all the way back to northern England, okay, and with the first instances of it, and the social contracts and stuff like that. We trace this stuff all the way back. It's an effect of the environment. So all this stuff that you see here, that's going on, is an effect, right? That's how come when I found Polly Murray, I said I was looking for it, man. I said there's something missing about civil rights and feminism, right? How come the white women got the biggest bulk of civil rights, and black men got the least? I said there has to be something. And when I found Polly Murray and all this stuff starting to unravel, okay, they have to start admitting this stuff, okay. Feminism was injected into civil rights, man, in the 50s and 60s. So it was injected purposely into civil rights because basically feminism, as they call it, or women's rights, could not exist without civil rights. Okay, and they had no case for civil rights as white women. Okay, so they had to marry it with civil rights, and guess who's getting the short end of the deal? It's not black women; it's black men. and which is the same thing that caused feminism in the first place. Is that black men got suffrage, which is the vote, and white women didn't, and white women got upset about it, so they left civil rights, okay, or anti abolitionist movement, and started a feminist movement.
I don't know if you can hear me better now,
I
BGS.
got you. I got you.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me end up because I'm stuck in traffic and it's gonna be bumper to bumper and there's a bunch of dead zones. That's why when I do certain lives, yeah, there's patches in the connection sometimes. So I
Hmm.
already know this road, and now that we're bumper to bumper, I won't even be able to smoothly transition from dead zone to dead zone. So all right,
Somebody
um
said BGS takeover. Let's go.
right. You know what? I'll do another stream and we'll have BGS up and I'll do my own version. Shout out to Art of Immort when he did the stream with you about the Moynihan report and whatnot. So
Oh,
we'll
yeah, the
go over
Moynihan,
something.
and then the Kerner Commission stuff
The
like that.
Kerner
Yeah,
Commission, yes, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So we'll go over it. And I definitely want to have you on one of the streams that I'm gonna do on the Powell memo and whatnot. So yeah, that's definitely
Okay.
that's coming up soon-ish. Compassionate waiting on me. It's me.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. But I'll, somebody actually sent me the video of this chick talking about SNCC and feminism. So
mm,
I'll actually send that to you. I'll forward it to you.
please and thank you.
Okay.
Please and thank you.
All
All
right,
right,
sir.
BGS. Thank you. And y'all, thanks for listening. We'll pause right here. Love piece of chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, and wish for Z in this goddamn traffic. All right, y'all. So y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content. We'll pause right here. Mr. Z out. Skirt.